kamikaze style, just when you don't expect it. Yes, soon there'll be 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 shows a day. We got to make the agents walk around like raccoons. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Lancescurv. But it's not just Lancescurv, it's Joe Harden. The Harden Report. Come on in, brother. We're going to talk about some stuff tonight. Unmute yourself.
Sir.
And let it all hang out. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm well. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I just have to say that Brother Joe Harden here is a comedic genius. His mind works fast. He's underappreciated in the world. And I remember, I won't say where, but we used to work on the same job. And every time I came around the part that he was in, I'm looking for him. And he would always, within a split second, within like 90 seconds, have something funny to say off the cuff. He wasn't even the bad boy.
I was waiting for you to get there. I was waiting for you to get there. I was busting at the seams ready to tell you this stuff.
But yeah, brother. Yeah, you put Dave Chappelle to shame. I'm telling you. If he's
no. That's the goat. That's the goat.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying in your own style. If people see
I want to tell your listeners that this man, Lancescurv, when we were working there, I had never done stand-up in my life. And then we would have our talks and we would have our roast sessions of going off on things and topics. He would just come out there. It was like he was playing a game almost. It was like he was like preparing me almost, where he would just throw out a topic. He just here's a topic, bam, and then I just started riffing on it, and then he started riffing on it on top of that, and it was just hilarious. And I did my first open mics because of this man, Lancescurv. That's why I love doing his Joe Harden reports for Lancescurv, and that's why I start every one of those with reporting for Lancescurv, because it reminds me back when I didn't feel like I was ready for getting on the stage, and yeah, I got on it. I ripped it. I came back and told him about it.
I felt good, brother, because I saw that in you. And it's my job to motivate anybody who has something good inside of them. And I wouldn't lie to you, and you saw the results, how they received you. You know, sometimes we get busy. We don't do things all the time, whatever. But when you get back up there, I'm rooting for you, and I want to support you. And I want people to I want you to somehow videotape it so I can put it out there. And that's the first time anybody's even hearing this story. But yeah, man. I was.
You know what? Sorry.
Yeah,
it leads into what the reason that I had stopped doing my stand-up is because of that bullshit love too. I traveled to New Mexico like a dumbass. No, it was good. It didn't work out, but yeah, love will make an idiot out of you.
well, look at the banner. Look at the banner. That's what we're talking about.
Sleeping with the enemy, baby.
And let me let everybody know that I'm not the measured, kind, gentle Lancescurv. I got a little bit of Paul Mooney in me right now tonight, so we're gonna let it hang out. I can't believe
his little brother is here, so I'm a little vulgar sometimes. So you know.
Tonight we don't want food. This ain't no hospital food. We want some soul food tonight.
You know what? Like I was telling you before, like, you could be decent in the daytime, dang it.
When nighttime comes, it's a whole different story.
Yes.
So let me ask you something, brother. When was the first time? What was the first? Okay, we know Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. They go back.
Yeah. Check out that Joe Harden report too. Where I was talking about it about a year ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna put down in the comment section and down in the description area too. But when was the first time like you noticed? It's almost like when you're in public, say like in Walmart or Target or something, and there's somebody you're talking to, you don't really know them, and it might be a nice old lady or a nice old man or somebody your age, whatever, and you're talking to them, they're making sense. Then they say something a little off, and you look at their eye, and one eye is turned off, and you're like, "Wait a second, this person ain't right." Then they bust out. They bust out with, and you're like, "Wait a second, I'm sitting here having a conversation with a fool for the longest time."
They bust out with the reptile people gonna come and get us. Like what? The reptile people. I just talked to you for 5 minutes. crazy?
They pick a
Without
booger
a
and eat.
mask. I didn't even use a COVID mask.
After that, they pick a booger and eat it.
Exactly. This something like this happened to me. Oh, like this lady was crossing the street, and I was trying to be a gentleman. I was at the Metro PCS store. It's over here, and because I don't believe in giving iTunes and iPhone all of that, so I stick with my Android. But this lady was crossing the street, and she had all these bags, and she was walking into the shopping area of the plaza that I was in. Now, so it's a busy road coming from where she was coming from, these apartments across the street. And so I'm watching her, and I was a little worried for her. It was a sister, it was a black lady, she was older, and so I'm kind of concerned. And so I kind of inch my way out to see. I'm looking at the traffic. I'm wearing a wife beater, whatever. You know, it's camo. You know, I'm trying to be non-threatening. I'm trying to not walk towards her or in her way or anything like that. And so she walks, right? So she looks a little disheveled, a little bit cracky, but I'm not judging. You know, you can hit the pipe anytime you want. None of my business. But I'm still gonna help you because you're still a sister and you're still a queen, and I don't care how many rocks you smoke. I'm gonna help you, baby. You're gonna get home today. So so she went to the store, she came back, all the bags that she had around her were filled up with things. Now she had a little shopping bag. So now she's inching across the street. And so I walk out, like I'm walking parallel with her. They're trying to kind of walk out to kind of give her the okay, because she's moseying very slowly. And so I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and help her across the street and feel like a great, you know, respectful young man today. I might even get a nice smile from her and say, thank you. It was quite the opposite. The crack grabbed her by the neck and said, look, you better yell at this nigga. The crack told her I was dangerous, and she started screaming and yelling, stop following me! Stop following me! Stop following me! And then another young black chick was behind her looking at me crazy. I'm like, oh, I was just trying to help her. And she's like, no, you following me. You follow me when I came, and you follow me when I'm leaving. Leave me alone! And then you know how crackheads start telling their story? I got 3 children, and then Mike said he don't love me no more. And then it started telling. I felt really bad for her, and to the point, and then like she started like screaming her whole life story out, and she walked down that road. I'm sorry, she walked down that road screaming her life story, and I'm like, damn, was what I went through with her always the origin of how they're screaming down the street by themselves?
Right. Everything like you had something to do with it.
Exactly. She did. I'm gonna send my son over. Like, send him over. He probably don't deal with you. You don't crack. You had to walk over here across the street. Your son is not caring about you, obviously.
Right. He ain't trying to be bothered.
I felt so bad for the lady. I really did.
He cussed you out and didn't feel bad. That's what that crack will do.
Exactly. She kept going though. She didn't break her cracky stride.
Ain't gonna break my stride.
Ain't nothing gonna hold me down from drugs. I got to keep on smoking.
That's crazy.
No one's gonna break her stride.
I know. They'll get out there in the crack of dawn, cold weather, and they can find them a crack house. And you can get rid of them, send them down south, way out in the boondocks somewhere. They'll go out in the woods and they're gonna come back with their vials. It's uncanny.
Exactly.
They got exactly 6 cents, man.
I see. It's a 6 cent, all right. I see crack people.
They do. And
I feel bad for them every time I see them. One time, this old white lady, she got the drop on me one time. She took my phone.
Why'd she get your phone?
I was out there now. This was when we was working together, and I was out at a mall, the mall that they shut down over here in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And before they shut, I'm sure she's the reason they shut it down too.
Oh, you mean West Oaks?
No, not that one. That's on its last leg. That needs to be shut down.
That was the last place before I left. 2 stores open up in there, everything, you know.
You ever see a trap house? West Oaks Mall is the only trap mall. How you have a trap mall? A whole trap mall. Only drug dealers go there, I think, now.
but there wasn't much in there, and when you walk in there, everybody looking sorry, like, please spend some money with me.
Exactly. That's how you're supposed to look in a trap mall. They got a whole trap mall. I expected Nino Brown to come out there and start giving out turkeys.
Oh, and you know, the mall is doing bad when they don't take a year lease; they do it month by month because they know.
Oh yes, they got the sign that's in the window that says monthly lease for whatever store. Yeah, exactly.
And you get all the ghetto and shop and entrepreneurs coming up in there. Oh, we gotta stall. Yeah, you 3 months before it closed down. Don't get too happy.
And they're pretending to sell speakers and clothes.
Crack in the mall. They were doing that exactly. By the Magic Mall, you know. By the Magic Mall, they were selling crack out of the mall.
Ooh, that makes sense though. I want to say ooh, but that makes a lot of sense. And it's right. They're so bold, and they're doing it across the street from the sheriff's office.
Look, where it was. Magic Mall was right across the street. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
But you know what? Oh, you know it exactly.
What's going on? We usually outsell black people here, but all the black people going to that place there, and all they sell is cheap sneaker. We sell all the things that black people like, but they don't come to us no more. They were mad.
Exactly, because they don't sell crack.
That's what it was.
You know what? As much as we saying crack, though, we gotta give a shout out to the white people for meth because you know y'all get down to. Let me stop.
Oh, go ahead, man. Let it hang out.
They get down to. They think it's all black people with the crack and white people. Exactly. But they call it a opioid addiction with their pills and all of this, and Adderalls and this and that.
But that
black people just crackhead.
Right, but that's too mild. Opioid. It almost sounds decent. But when
you're right. It's like,
you can use for something else that will crack you over your head. It sounds aggressive, but opioid sophisticated.
Yeah, more syllables in it. Like crack is just like boom, like black, and then they rhymed it with us too. They're like, well, these Negroes seem to like rhyming. Let's call it crack because they're black.
You ain't lying. Psychological way of conjugating words.
That's true. Words do matter. We talk about that, and we talk about and pontificate on all of these things, and they mean something, which is another reason why like Sexy Red is nowadays doing Pussy Pink Booty Hole Brown. I'm gonna take you to Pound Town. That ain't hip hop. It ain't hip hop no more.
I know. That's shit hop.
Exactly.
Real. Look, I remember, and I grew up in that era. Come on, man. I'm 60 years old, so I know. I mean, it was fun. It was no violence. It wasn't even any violence when they had hip hop shows. And I remember in New York City,
because people used to dance it out. They used to do it in creative ways. Who wrote the best graffiti? Who made the best rhymes? Who makes the best dance moves? That was the culture. That was when we had a culture. We can't even call it the culture anymore because they bastardized it.
But they took it away. They took it away. Yeah. The people that Kanye West had a problem with, they hijacked it. Public Enemy was out there. You had a lot of conscious rappers out there, and like they're having too much fun, and now they're educating themselves. We must take it up. NWA, those black women have those big voluptuous booties, and we're going to turn it around. We're going to cater to the lust and their need for flashy cars and chains and money. We're going to promote drugs. Yes. We'll hit them on the lower chakras. Yes.
And you're right about that. on them lower vibrations, and they shook they took them lower vibrations and shook us down to rubble again.
Exactly. And we bought it hook, line, and sinker, and it gradually
It ain't that hard to sell it to people with no hope though. And we have to be accountable for the fact that we bought it hook, line, and sinker. But at the same time, when you make us economically disadvantaged, and I know you know all of this, brother. We talked about this. You told me things about this stuff, and it's like I just want to tell the viewers this. It's like when you make a people so downtrodden and first you break their spirit with their poverty and their misery, and then you sell all the shitty stuff to them and make them finish themselves off.
That's right. You sit back and watch them just destruct. Self-destruction. You're heading for self-destruction.
Oh, they didn't like when those songs were coming out. They didn't like when self-destruction was coming out. Rakim rhyming his ass off. Everybody's still trying to catch up to his ciphers.
No, he's too. No, that was Follow the Leader. That was a song that hypes me up even today.
Still to this day too, and I'm a generation later. Like, and that's still like. My sister's 12 years older. My sister's 12 years older than me. I'm 43. Just turned 43. My birthday was October the 14th, by the way.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I went to go see the whitest band of all time, Depeche Mode, because even back in exactly. I knew you're gonna know them because Depeche Mode.
Enjoy the silence.
Enjoy the silence. Exactly. All of those beats and all of those beats and the electronics that they do. A lot of black artists took a lot from their experiments with electronics. We created dance music, but like these guys were doing it on a whole different level. They helped. It was like the music exchange back and forth between the UK, because they're from the UK, not from America. American white boys doing all that. The people in the UK, they always love our stuff. Always seem to have more respect. They always seem to have more respect for us than our own people. Our own people here, in America, but they hear a little something. They came out around like 1980, so they were pioneering electronic beats and all of those electro funks and all of that type of stuff. And so they've gradually moved throughout their career trajectory, doing trajectory. There we go. Doing all types of right. They've done industrial music and alternative rock and stuff to where people sample their things, and all of the white alternative rockers love them. The black hip hoppers who are really the beat makers love them, because the beat makers really know the music. So they know that they're like, oh, that's Depeche Mode. That right there. Them type of beats that they throw out is crazy. Like Rihanna, bitch better have my money sound like something that Depeche Mode would do. Like that little sinister beat type of thing, like a cinematic sound and stuff. You
get influence, man. I used to be in Manhattan, walking around. That was my meditation. I would walk from the Village up to 59th Street, up to Harlem, walk down, eat in the restaurant. Things are 24 hours. Didn't matter the weather. I still got the coat. I don't need it now because I'm in Africa. There's a long Morpheus coat. And I used to, the bald head, these little glasses on, little kids, little white kids. Mommy, there's Morpheus. But yeah,
as their white mama takes the red pill and the blue pill, she's like, I think I see it too, honey.
And I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Exactly. Leave the kids over here for a while. We're about to go into the Matrix, baby. She's like, don't tell Dad. Mommy saw Morpheus today.
and he to the mattress.
The mattress. Not even the Matrix, just the mattress.
She took the Matrix, but she really went to the mattress. Trust me.
To the mattress. That's right. But like you just mentioned right there, like just taking a walk and absorbing the city in a way that's not so fast paced and around other people so dang much, and the younger generation, not to be like that, but I never thought I'd be the one as the younger generation. Well, actually, I did think I would be that way because I didn't like kids when I was a kid. Let me stop. But the younger generation, we would never. My generation, like I graduated high school, 1999, and so excuse me. So those things, they don't take those moments anymore. They got the internet in their face all day, which is a
Right.
blessing and a curse at the same time. It's a great way to learn new things and to see how different parts of the world or different parts of the country or different communities are living and all of that. And then the curse of it all is you see the misery of some of it too, and some of it infiltrates other parts that it shouldn't.
Yes.
Because
But it's
a
slippery
lot of
slope.
these, yeah, it's true. And there's a lot of people out there, probably even part of your listeners, who have made great lives for themselves, or at least really good lives for themselves. And
Mhm.
then their children might fall prey to some of this sexy red misery that they shouldn't even never see. You made enough money to get out the hood. Now the hood don't made it to your house anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. Followed you on home.
Exactly. Through your kids' phones and stuff like that.
Like when you go to there's a lot of roaches and they get on your coat and you come home with the roaches.
Exactly. Or nowadays it'd be bed bugs because that shit is an epidemic. It's true though.
Okay, let me see what happened here. Brother man fell off. He'll be back. Yeah. We're gonna talk some craziness. We're just taking our time. The longer the better. I'm up. We're gonna roll. Has Jada lost a damn mind? We're gonna break that down mentally too. He'll be back. I think his connection was a little iffy, but he'll be back. If not, he'll call me. Yeah, I'm having a good time tonight. I feel good. We still gonna come back with a morning show. All right. So we're gonna do it twice a day like this. I was encouraged by great people to do the show tonight. Yes, my brother. They knocked you
Yeah.
off.
They knocked me off. I was saying we were saying too much good stuff, Yeah. Like there's a guy behind the switch. Okay, that's enough. Get him. We don't want them talking about how we secretly get these messages into these homes when these people like lice and bed bugs and roaches.
But answer the question, man. When was the first time that you kind of noticed that something was off with Will and Jada? Something was strange. I mean, the very first time that you probably even saw it and didn't even say anything, like you noticed this, but it's like, I'm not saying anything until somebody else does. Maybe I'm wrong. What was the first time?
It wasn't so much that it was Will and Jada. I knew that she was bubbling because she kept trying to do shit that wasn't like a part. It obviously wasn't a part of the plan or part of the script. Like you could see her deviating from the plan that they had already. She's out there doing, because I was, like I said, listening to all these rock and roll and alternative music, and she was in this female heavy metal band or whatever.
Yeah, that
And
was
I was
some
like,
stuff.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck wrong with her? So I was like, and I like heavy metal, but not from Jada. Well, what she
Right,
like?
right.
What she get off thinking that she gonna do heavy metal now when she didn't? Well, it's like these people who do like the hip hop now or whatever. It's like they listen to one album or whatever. They're not a part of the culture of it, and they just go out and start doing it. But this Jada, like your husband's Will Smith, you're Jada Pinkett. You do movies, and now you're a heavy metal singer. Like that's where Willow and shit gets all that from. But
But
Willow could actually pull it off.
that's like saying 2, 4, 6, 8, 57. Like how did we get here?
Exactly. Save that shit for when you can't get no movie roles no more.
Las Vegas hotel for pennies on the dollar. That was Jada Pinkett.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now that's when I knew something was a little bit off. Now I was blissfully unaware that they had these issues. I know you. Are you gonna tell the people about when you first heard a little bit about
Oh
when
yes,
you
I'm gonna
saw?
tell
When you saw- Yeah.
let me tell you something. I don't care how much they deny it or act like this had to be back. I'll tell you, it had to be back in 2001, maybe around that time, 2001, maybe even 1999. I got a hold of a magazine. It wasn't Ebony or Jet or something like that. It was some secondary magazine that I know is not around anymore, but it was semi-popular and to read. And I grab a lot of stuff that even I may not be into because I like to hear about different cultures, different state of mind. And the internet was around, but I wasn't really into it. That's how I know.
It wasn't in everybody's pocket yet.
Exactly. It was expensive as hell too. You know what I mean? And you know, pictures would take so long to upload and everything. So I was in the magazine. So I read this article by them. It was an interview, and they were talking it raw. And I'm like, come on, man. I feel like now, like I'm Captain Kirk on Twilight Zone when they had the monkey on the wing, and he jumped off every time he called the stewardess to come and say, hey, this is something jumping out of the wing. And they're like, there's nothing else. So people are telling me, no, there was nothing like that. Then I'm like, listen, you weren't even born damn near by then. Look, how they were swingers. They were talking about how they do threesomes. Look, more power to them. I'm not mad at them for doing certain things. But the bottom line is they were talking this stuff and how they had an open relationship and everything. And I'm like, okay, they're telling it. But that's Hollywood for you. So it didn't shock me. But now for a while, it was like they were kind of trying to keep it down. And then these things are coming out. But I knew. But they didn't come out blatant and say, he licks this and I suck that. What? No. And it's expanded. And we do have fun. We do have get-togethers. And I know the code of that world. So it's like, turn around and try to be a saint after that. Then the thing with me coming down, as above, so below. The kids are whacked out. And I'm like,
all the way.
Something wrong here. There's something terribly wrong.
you had Willow talking about she was hating herself because she wanted to be as cute as Jaden. What the fuck?
Wow.
He's over here embracing all of this extra femininity, and then she feels like she's not pretty enough. Like, what type of messages are they sending them in the house? You would think.
Oh, but what kind of household is it?
Yeah.
When the mother is laying up with a friend of the son, the daughter, this older guy laying up in the bed with her.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, there was some photo that was taken, and it was inappropriate because the guy had his shirt off, and he was in the bed. I don't know if you remember that.
I think I remember it now. Now you remember. Like, yeah, it was in the shirt. And you Will Smith's daughter. Like this dude is Mr. Like, how y'all gonna mess up the money? Like,
he was like the Munsters when they had Marilyn Munster, and she was well, he's the normal acting one, but he has all this going around him. So, brother, something got to be wrong with you if you let this thing go around like that. You know what I mean? Something's wrong. He's the money earner, the breadwinner. But for him to come home to that, and you the man of the house, and you got money, and you got this
So and a career and a legacy to uphold. Like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, if they really cared about the culture so much as she puts off, and when she gets on TV, she's very articulate and very eloquent, and she speaks about healing, and she speaks about progress and Black unity sometimes, and all of these great seeming things. But then y'all could have created a legacy between you, your kids, your kids' kids, your kids' kids, a whole legacy like the white people have with the Barrymores. You know, they have a whole acting legacy down from John Barrymore all the way down to Drew Barrymore.
The Barrymore.
You know, exactly. They got the Barrymores and they got the Emilio Estevez and them. The Sheens. There you go. The Charlie Sheen. And all of them, they could then move on to have production companies, and then own the means of power, the means of production. I mean,
exactly.
and then they can make the type of movies that they want and get cast in the type. You wouldn't have to wait for Hollywood to finally want to make a black historical movie. We can make our own. There's enough writers out there. There's enough of us that can write. There's enough of us that can act. They keep begging. They keep begging this white Hollywood. They keep begging, and we have great allies. I'm not on the whole white people bashing thing, but it's like, but white Hollywood and systemic racism are not going to change 100+ years of what's been working for them.
Right.
And so we sit back and we wait. We wait for crumbs. And we have some of the most amazing actors and actresses and writers and people who have real talent out here begging for a seat at tables. Build our own tables. Eddie Murphy tried to do it back in the day, you know, but yeah. But anyway, I'll go off on a little bit of tangent there.
Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC. It's been many powerful people been shot down.
Yeah,
seriously.
Then I slipped the bitch the roof here, and then they tried to shut down the productions on me, and told me I couldn't do it anymore.
I had the white woman coming out accusing me to suck on the Jello pop.
on the Jello Poro pop. Sorry, I said that a little bit different because I'm a little bit roofied up.
but look, this Jada Pinkett, really, all she can do is cause trouble to get attention. Because if it wasn't Will Smith, she would have faded out a long time ago. I hate to put anybody down because she's still a sister with her weird ass, unfortunately. All I'm saying is Jada Pinkett Smith would not be anything if she wasn't attached to Will Smith. But at the same time, trying to tear him down. I don't understand it. It's like she despises some women out here. I'm not throwing off on all women because you have men that despise women, but it's almost like he's so successful. She had to attach herself to him, but at the same time, because he is so successful, she wants all the attention for herself. So at the same time that she's gaining, she's resenting him. How about that?
It's the weirdness of it all. It's true. It's like play your position. If this was reversed and we had some bum dude, some bum ass dude who was attached to Angela Bassett and he was trying to talk some shit and embarrass her, you know how fast we'd jump on him? We ain't letting you do that to Angela. How dare you? Talk about you was banging Augusta while Angela Bassett sitting across the table crying from you. Man, you have every dude in the hood rolling up on that dude.
Damn. And what
it's true. We would not take that from we would not let some dude, some random dude. Let's say, what's his name? What's one of these little these dudes? Let's tell her have a groove back dude. Tay Diggs. If Tay Diggs and her got together in real life, and then she was, and all of a sudden he trying to make her look bad, stepping out on her with all these young girls. Like we ain't taking that. And that's why everybody has something to say about it too. It's not pile on Jada. It's like, Jada, we tired of hearing about it because we don't want to see the destruction of this black family from the inside.
But see, maybe they were set up for that from the beginning.
Could be.
And as a distraction also. We're on the verge of World War III. And most of us, I'm not saying us here, we're talking about it because we want to talk about it. We talked earlier and we said, hey, let's go live, right? So we balance everything out, but people are still thinking about it. So we're going to talk about it. We do that every now and then. But the bottom line is that, like you said earlier, Jada Pinkett's coochie is bringing black people together because we're all talking about it.
Yeah. I was talking about how she bringing she done brought the diaspora back together because we talking about how crazy this shit is. Black people from all over the world, from different parts of the country. I'm in America right now. You in Africa. We sitting up here talking about it.
Even hardly speak English all the way. Hey, my brother, I want to know, what do you think about Jada Smith?
Do they do it? That's funny. Do they do it with a wink like, we never let our women do this to us, you pussy ass Americans, you pussies? Is it like that?
Americans, yes, but Will Smith, he's a simp. You're probably a
He's a
simp.
simp. He's a simp. You saw what we did to those girls trying to twerk in our ancestors'
Find them. They're somewhere else, but you'll never see them again.
You've never seen them again. You know what? White people do that shit too. Let some Italian dude embarrass the shit out of Italians, and he would be missing somewhere. Not saying anything that should happen to anybody. Nobody get that idea, but we're the only we people like we we the only ones that let our crazies run out the house like that.
Exactly. And all your business in the street.
That was the main thing I had about it. And even when I did the Will Smith and Joe Harden report on your channel, on the Lancescurv channel, like when I did that, it was like that was the main thing. It was like it wasn't coming from a place. Even at that point, it wasn't coming from a place of shut the hell up, Jada. But now it's leaning towards shut the hell up, Jada. But before that, it was like, why are you? I understand I don't want to quiet your voice and you can't say anything and you know your expression and your feelings and you should get that out. But when it starts hurting the family, that's when it's going too far. And she should have enough self-regulation to be able to know that it's going too far. Your children, that boy was out of the house. Speaking of her children, like you were talking about earlier, that boy left the house. He became emancipated at 16 years old. What black boy is trying to leave the house, the millionaire house?
I'm telling you,
at 16.
Or maybe he got a couple.
Will Smith was still in the mansion on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at 20 something.
No, check this out. He got emancipated at 16 because he got tired of seeing Will Smith being emasculated at 50 years old.
Exactly.
Emancipated. So there you go. No, but there's something else going on in that house. They caught wind of something. They understand.
It's true.
You know the whole story. Let me tell you something. They were doing some weird stuff. Let me tell you something. They probably had some other, because you know recently they said that the bodyguard of P. Diddy, was it, revealed that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett were trying hard to scoop J-Lo when Diddy was with her.
Oh, so they were trying to bring her in.
Oh yeah. They,
as a third or fourth or something.
Of course, and they both are trying hard.
I ain't mad at them. Yeah, go big or go home. Shit, if you can bag J-Lo, I ain't even mad at that.
All right, but I'm saying
exactly.
Oh, he was probably doing the same thing too. Who knows? It's like, a girl. But anyway, they were doing that in the house, and the kids knew. Trust me, the kids knew.
Yeah,
they knew about them.
When you have that much money and power, you get so used to not hiding shit, especially under your roof. You're like, I'm powerful. I ain't gonna hide shit. Leave the crack pipe on the table. I ain't gotta hide shit behind these gates.
Making breakfast in the kitchen and bringing it to y'all. Who is that? And they peek into the peek hole.
Exactly.
Come on. It's more
looking at that,
just because they happen to have weirdness in their genes. They've seen a lot and they were doing their own thing. They had a grown-ass man damn near in the bed with the daughter, and she was a friend of the son. So you know he kept coming over there, and Will Smith had to know.
Supposed to be mentoring.
What? Yeah, mentoring sex. Will's like, you're doing. Have fun with my wife. Just don't come in her mouth.
Better yet, come in her mouth so she shuts the fuck up for once.
Hey. All Mooney in a little while.
Right. Like,
unbelievable.
No, that was hair pulling. That would really happen.
Hair pulling. Well, they weren't pulling nothing from Jada's head because there was no hair. And on this banner, look at the picture. man. Little what are those beads on the head, something like that.
Whose?
On the banner, on the picture that I put up here. It's got like a is that
The little beads?
yeah, like it's fooling somebody.
Wait, what? Oh, that thing on her head. Yeah, she probably mind controlling Will Smith with that shit. She wearing a damn Professor X helmet. She's wearing a Professor X helmet, and Will Smith died 2 years ago, and she's piloting his ass. That's a robot. She got a damn Will Smith robot, and she is fucking piloting that shit with that helmet. She got it moving around crazy, laughing, smacking Chris Rock whenever she get mad.
Oh man,
that is a robot. She controls. She controls it with her own thoughts. See, yeah, she's wearing this. I'm looking at what you put on here, and she's wearing the beaded thing over her head. She's drawing all this attention to her head. Like, part of me, and then she's talking about how her hair grew back and all of this stuff. Now, you had alopecia 1 minute, you don't have alopecia now. Now you're putting shit on your head to emphasize that shit. You're shaving your head. It's like it's stereotypically it's what little white girls do. I'm surprised she doesn't come out as a cutter. Oh. Like, not to make fun of people with that problem, but like, come on. It's like what else? What other attention-seeking thing is she gonna pull next? The book tour came out of nowhere. Like we didn't even Jada. We was already like everybody knew we was tired of Jada revealing and simping Will up and making him look crazy because he's a beloved actor.
No, but I'm saying, like, I mean, come on, like, what is she doing to him behind closed doors or when the camera's not on? If she's doing this much, like, and he's got to grin and bear it because from what I hear, he had a fairly clean and decent upbringing. She resents him for that. It's like, you're doing too good, so I'm going to have to mess things up for you. And he's got to grin and bear it. But maybe he's going to snap one day. This is just too much. I mean, even when he hit Chris Rock and, you're talking about my wife, and keep it out of her mouth, whatever. And he could have turned around and said, yeah, well, I had it in the mouth. You know what I mean? But
and we would have all known it was true.
They've been apart for so long that he's still having these feelings for her, and she's doing her thing. So
that's the messed up part. It's like it feels like the way she's playing it is that he's the biggest male movie star on the planet, but he's simping after you for some reason.
And she
like,
gets
why you making him do that? Like, exactly, why are you getting off on that?
And having your daughter write letters to Tupac saying, "Mommy, happy. I wish you can come back." How does that make a man feel when your wife has influenced your own daughter to just write something like that? So you got your own daughter coming against you with the foolishness.
Exactly. But and it's like
yeah, he's probably holding on to it because it's cheaper to keep it. California and all that business, taking half.
Lose everything.
That's messed up.
Including the kids. And you know she got the kids brainwashed on her side. So he don't want to lose all of that.
Oh, man. But really, what does he really have when you think of it? And honestly, for me, if that was happening to me, he can't have everything taken from him. He's still Will Smith.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever if he had 15% left of what he's accrued over the years, and she took 85%, folks would know he would still have a good life. Go on and make some more movies and build up again and have that over with. Let her get all of that. Let her go. And she's going to self-destruct. Because on a spiritual level, she can't go on with the weirdness like that. And if people think that something's wrong with him, which the longer he stays in it, is people going to say, like, why are you staying in this thing so long? She's emasculated at every chance, every turn.
That's what happens when you're sleeping with the enemy. Like, when you're sleeping with the enemy, at a certain point, people stop caring about you and what you're going through with it. They saying you stand. So So it becomes the whole thing, like that old saying, like that's why you don't argue with fools, because people from a distance can't tell who is who. That's why you don't stay in relationships with a psycho either, because people looking in at a certain point is not gonna be able to tell which one of y'all is crazy. You for staying or you for doing it.
For real.
It ain't like you got to sneak out the house 1980s Lifetime movie style, where he got to sneak out the house as the battered husband wife, where he got to he got to sneak out the house with the change in his pocket and the clothes on his back. He got millions.
Because she doesn't care. She don't care about him. She's out there laying up with who she wants to lay up with, and he loves her, and he wants to. Let me tell you something. When you're a man who grew up with your family intact, that's in your DNA. And now you go ahead and you marry somebody who, I don't know her upbringing, but I know it's a hell of a dysfunctional thing going on. Like, he can manipulate that against him. Yeah. And he wants to have this, and he's so famous and people like him. And they know, let me tell you something. Let's hope he doesn't snap.
Because I hope so too. He already showed signs of it, and I think Gifty is right. Gifty, who's on the chat, I do think he loves her, because you gotta love somebody to go through this shit. You have to. Yeah, ain't nobody casually. You ain't no casual friend or nobody like that. That you just gonna go through all of this embarrassment for. I think he's taking a page out of the Michelle Obama and Barack Obama book, but they had enough sense to keep their shit quiet. Because Michelle said, and she came out and said, for about 10 years in the marriage, she didn't like him.
Oh, that's wild.
Because she said she was put, and you can see why. Because if you're president, you're a very ambitious man. You're so ambitious. You, as a black man, you became the president of the United States of America. That racist place. So having to put some of her stuff on the back burner and having to be with the kids more often, and feeling a little bit of resentment for having to go with almost like a single parent, you can see where some resentment will come in. Mm-hmm. And that's probably where Jada started. But she took that starting point and went to the fucking moon with how far she willing to drag Will. Michelle kept that shit quiet. I think that they believe that, and I believe this at a certain point. If she doesn't completely emasculate him to the point where he goes crazy, like you were saying, then they will look back at a certain point when they're older, and they'll go, "That was a crazy rough patch we had, baby."
Well,
and then they'll be good.
He'll say that because he's still thinking intact with her.
That's what I'm thinking. He's thinking. That's what I think. I think he's thinking that's where it's gonna go. He's like, my baby's crazy right now, but we're gonna be all right. And it don't look like it. There's too much shit. Will, like, it's cheating and publicly telling everybody. We didn't want to know. If August would have told us, we wouldn't have even believed him. Mm-hmm. They had so much money and so much of a pristine record, even though they told before the internet got popping, they had enough clout built up of this nice guy, nice girl thing to where if somebody told us the shit they was doing, we wouldn't have believed it. But they had to tell us. It came out of their mouth. You got your daughter writing ghost letters to ghosts and shit. I don't know if it's the Red Table Talk or that damn ghost show that they put on the cable channels. He wants to keep his. He does want to keep his family intact. I'm sorry.
I'm saying, it's swingers. They said it over 20 years ago. So he knew what he was getting into. You know?
Yeah, Jada, exactly. Like she was one of them free spirit type of ladies too. So she'll sit there and go ahead and have an orgy, cook breakfast for everybody in the orgy, and then talk about how kumbaya they're gonna be.
He knew it, and Hollywood loved it because they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna have stories on you." To put them in a bad position, they did it themselves. They came into Hollywood Illuminati ready. Illuminati starter kit. But look what Gifty said again on the bottom of the screen there.
Yes.
I think he's fighting to keep an intact family more so than fighting to keep Jada. He's a family man at heart, and he's too old to start over, so he's staying. What you think about that?
Here's the thing. I think that he thinks that because if he wanted to, he could Robert De Niro his way through, not Robert De Niro, but he could Jack Nicholson his way through the rest of his life in Hollywood. If he was a lady, and the way that the social structure is set up, yeah, I could see, you know, where he had to do that, but he could be the most eligible bachelor. Hollywood loves a confirmed bachelor. Tom Clooney, not Tom Clooney, what's his name? George Clooney type. He could be a George Clooney type, a Jack Nicholson type, womanizer, just going on dates and not committing to any marriages. All of those older white dudes in Hollywood do that. They're like the shit. They're just like these distinguished gender. Well, that's the role they play as being the shit. Like I'm the cool older gentleman with the nice clothes, and I'm gonna tell you, like I could sit you down with Jack Daniels, tell you some stories about Hollywood and this and that. He might have to enter that phase.
Well, can he? Will they accept him that way?
I think they can, because it'll just be another phase. The thing about it is, he had the family man phase. Boom. Now he'll have the sort of the dating young women and being a cool bachelor phase. He never had the cool bachelor phase. Think about it. He never had the cool bachelor phase. And I think that's part of why Hollywood accepted him, because he was, and I think he's scared of letting that go. I think that's why he's holding on so tight, because he's used to Hollywood giving him these opportunities, because he was never a threat to them and their women, because he was married already. So now you have this attractive, on the loose, eligible bachelor in his 50s. He could spend his 50s, 60s, 70s. That's 30 more years of being James Bond, basically. Being, you know, Sean Connery, being Jack Nicholson, being like all of these perpetually single, George Clooney for the longest time. Like these perpetually single, like 50s to 70s white dudes who still cool.
Right.
Like we'll follow the Denzel model of you know, we can't have a loose black man on the loose in Hollywood without a wife. We ain't gonna put him in shit, because we're not gonna make him too big. He'd be fucking all of our women. We can't let the buck in the house. So they did. So next thing you know, they want to they go ahead, and so I think he's scared, or he knows something that we don't know, that he will not be given. You saw what they did to Wesley. I don't know if he was married or not, but this dude was. He seemed to be the type that would go out there and have fun and get with all of them.
Yep, they don't want that.
They were not gonna let him run free reign and be in all these action movies still, and get all this attention and get all of these ladies, and they don't want that, because either Hollywood doesn't want it, or they don't think that the American public wants to see it, and they're the boss anyway, the people who buy the tickets. So does somebody in Kentucky want to know that Will Smith is banging every single female opposite him in a movie, or do they want to think that he has this cute little wife at home?
Right. You see the comment on the screen? One man in the industry admires Morris Chestnut. He has kept his life private for a long time. Morris kept his nuts to his chest and kept his privates private.
It's easy to do that when nobody looking for you. But by all accounts, by all the metrics that usually make these people popular, he should be way more popular. He should be way more. He should have way more fame, I should say.
You talking about Will?
No, the Morris guy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
By all of their standards, all of their standards of acting and the attractiveness and this and that and the third, he should be leading man action movie all over the place, just like these guys. Why not?
Well, maybe he didn't want to.
He want to have a Tom Cruise party. They flirted with the whole Scientology thing too, and that's the whole thing. Like that's what no one talks about. They had a whole Scientology slant and a Scientology phase for a while too.
Let me tell you, in Manhattan, in New York City back in the day, that thing was so heavy. And there was somebody who was at a gym that I used to train at. They were friendly with me. It was a guy. It was a white guy. He was like, he wanted me to come to one of these meetings. But he was very vague on what it was.
Oh.
Back in those days, I was 21 years old. You know, I felt like I can conquer the world. Nobody's going to mess with me. I didn't think it was a cult thing or anything.
And I've seen the weightlifting pictures too. Nobody was going to mess with that tank.
I feel like old George Foreman now. Those are my best days, right? And it was a Scientology thing. I can even damn near tell you the street. It was like 46th Street, 45th Street. It was at this hotel, really nice hotel.
Yeah.
And what hit me was that there were celebrities there. Not celebrities, and I couldn't remember their names. There were a whole people there that were actors and actresses in the soap operas. I was like, I know that guy over there. And there was one black guy. I'm going to scour and search the internet like crazy around that time period, looking for black actors that were on popular soap operas. And I know there's probably 3 or 4 of the top ones.
Yeah.
When I walked in, he looked at me and he gave me the what's up. Like, you know how us brothers lift up our head like, hey, what's up, man? You know, even though I couldn't hear him, there were white folks there. And he came over and everything. And said, thanks for coming and everything. But he didn't say much after that. And people were coming around. And I forgot how they were selling the whole thing, right? But it was very interesting. But I knew that it was not, I knew in my heart there was something wrong here.
Exactly.
People, it was almost like love bombing at church. Where you're the new member at church and you come as you are, and everybody's accepting you and loving you and hugging you and everything. You ain't getting that treatment in 2 more months once they got you.
Exactly.
How much cars you got or how broke you are or whatever. After that, we got you already, right? And you think thing in the whole world. So I was non-committal. They got my phone number and they rang my phone number down. They were taking turns. I felt like they were running a train on my cerebral. You know what I mean? They're changing their voice, and they were like different people calling, acting like it was a raw number. Hi, you know, can I talk to you?
Wow. So they was on some stalker mess. That sounds like them, though.
Let me tell you something. I got so mad, and at that age, I naturally had a high level of testosterone, right?
True.
I was angry. I remember I was downstairs in my basement. And we had the finished basement. You know, they have the panels and the wood panels and these in the 80s. You know what I mean? Man, I was on the phone so mad. I got so mad. I said, listen, why don't you stop? You know, I went through that already. Stop calling me, whatever. Man, I punched a hole in the wall, which I should have to repair it. You know what I mean? But man, I was so pissed off. And then I started to get abusive with them. They kept calling me. So I said, the only way to stop them is to threaten them. And he did. You can't do that. Well, you're calling me. What are you talking about? You're harassing me, and I can't threaten you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They was already talking to you like you was like you was like you was a underling or whatever. You can't do that. Yeah, I can.
Exactly. So I made such threats. I don't threaten with firearms and like that. I threaten with mystery. Like, I'm gonna come back there, but you don't know. And whoever's first, they gonna get it. I don't care who you are. I said, from what I saw, there's nobody in there that can handle me. I'm gonna steamroll everybody. You all gonna be laid out. You're gonna run away out of it like you see Godzilla. You're gonna feel Japanese.
It took all of that. Like, they're persistent like that. And you hear, like, had you actually if they got their claws into you a little more, And like, I'm a little scared saying this right now. But there's stories from these actors like Leah Remini, who was on King of Queens, the female lead of that movie, or that TV show, I should say. King of Queens is about a New York couple, and it's like the new honeymooners or whatever for the 2000s. And she talked about her decades in the Scientology religion or organization or whatever you want to call it. And some people say cult. you know I ain't judging that part of it, but it's like she talks about, she said so much about them and talked about their tactics and their ways. It's exactly the way you're talking about. You got a taste of it, and you were only there for a hot minute. She talked about how they really, when they really get there, sink into you, they don't let you go. They threaten. They physically put hands on. She mentioned, Leah Remini mentioned how yeah. Oh, I know. Imagine them putting hands.
Well, we gonna rock then. Trust me.
Exactly. The elders of their organization, or their what they do, they actually, the slap is actually one of the preferred methods of letting them know their place again. So that's why somebody mentioned the slap, like Will, just like Will Smith did. That slap.
I love to see them chat it with me. Oh, look, I'm not a man. And growing up, I was a nice kid, but I had a short fuse. I was mannerable and always gave respect. But my anger was something of a different level. And again, I'm not speaking as a tough guy. I got stories to back.
You just had boundaries, and you weren't gonna have them tested or be. You like, you're from New York. You can't have that, because the people are. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, wow. But look, do you really think they would have tried that with me? I mean, like, they would try to get me that way. But here's the other question, right?
After working somebody's mind to the point, they probably would have made you an enforcer.
Yeah.
They probably would have made you an enforcer, and then one of the bigger people.
Another question for you: what did they see in me? I was broke. I wasn't famous. I had a good body. I had a good look. But what did they see in me? Like,
exactly that. People. They have a lot of celebrities in their fold. So that's where a lot of that money comes from. They have high-end celebrities as a part of their group. And, to anybody getting a benefit from it and able to regulate their lives and prosper within it, more power to them, But the horror stories that I've heard, and the people who seem to have reputable ways of speaking on what it was about, they talk about the deep conditioning and the mind fuckery that goes on into it.
Right.
It's like an abusive relationship in those situations. I'm not saying them specifically, but I'm saying in a cult type situation, they break you down and rebuild you in their own image. And they would have tried that. And they probably your youth was a big part of it.
Yeah, true. Longevity and all.
Exactly.
You know what messed me up? When Farrakhan turned around talking like he's condoning it. That's when I had to part all the way with him. I'm like, yeah, Farrakhan was hanging.
Wow. Yeah, he's trying to get some of that Hollywood money. He's slick. He's like, I don't care how many motherfuckers they abusing behind closed doors. I'm gonna get some of this white money.
With his white woman and firewater, all America.
Farrakhan comes in there. You know what? I don't care. Just give me 5 white women. Don't tell none of the black people about it. And I ain't saying no shit about what I saw here tonight.
I know a lot of brothers in the nation, and a lot of stuff has been revealed to me that I cannot say here.
Okay. I ain't even trying to be got by association. I don't want to be walking down the street, driving down the road one day, my ass Malcolm X. I ain't trying to have that happen.
I've sat down to dinner with a lot of them in high levels, and like they trusted me, so I can't. But it's crazy.
And I respect the heck out of the nation because they've done so much for our people.
Exactly.
Like that, like a lot of times, who do these stars have to turn to when they need real security?
Right. That's true.
So always respect for them.
Same time, Hollywood has them by the balls where they can't spend money to help people, to help us, or use their influence. So, like, what gives? We'll let you get protection from the nation, but we won't let you fund community in the hood. Or you can't help anybody. Like, they can't do it.
Gotta watch her fucking back. That's why she had to go. That's why she had to deliver it to Africa. And you're right. They don't let them. It flies in the face of their money making things. It's like the prison industrial complex, or all of these other means of keeping people medicated in these messed up ways and making money off of that. The pharmaceutical industry, like all of those sort of things. And I worked for specialty pharmacies for a long time. I was in insurance and the administrative part of it, and that's a dirty game. I've worked in banking and healthcare administration. Huh?
They're ruthless. They don't care
They're
about people.
very ruthless and don't care. They will sit there and let you not have your oncology medicine in a hot minute. And make you audition like American Idol to try to get that.
Oh man.
Then they tell you when they don't give it to you, they be like, "Sorry, we're sending you home to God."
Hospice.
Exactly. They don't play. But I've seen some great things too, but I've seen some horror stories in that mess. I always try to do my best to just, have my things right on the administrative end so that it wasn't something that I caused them not to get. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you got to get certain approvals from, this and that. And it's crazy. But that's a dirtier game than banking. I thought that was dirty. I saw that mortgage collapse coming from a mile away. We saw that coming from a mile away. We were like, these motherfuckers, like, we're making a lot of money, but these motherfuckers really can't afford that. Like, they're like, go ahead and send them through to the okay.
So you saw it coming because of the practices that
we saw it coming. As 20, I was 20. I was from the ages. I was still in college. I think I might have been just out a year. I was just out of college. It was maybe a year out, or still I was still in college for a little bit of time when I was there, and then the last year that I was out. We saw that coming a mile away because they gave us incentives for getting them with they hooking them up with the people to process the loans. And we're like, they can't. We're looking at what like. You wouldn't believe. I'm not gonna say too much because I ain't trying to be. But don't get me.
Way out here in Africa, I was there. They would look.
Exactly. Lance, you'll be having a special about sad what happened to Joe.
No, you'll be right here with me. Trust me.
I had to hide out.
I'm the Nation of Islam rolled up in one. They ain't gonna come here.
Yes, sir. Now we have there were things, the amount of information, because I worked with credit loans and lines and all of that for the first bank that I worked for.
Right.
And so the amount of things that we saw that the person has in front of their screen about you, like I won't say the name of this corporation, but they had down to, and it makes sense when you really think about it, but they had down to, and this is going to sound crazy, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
These people had an estimation of when they expected the client to die.
Damn.
Yeah, dead serious. They said, this is on your screen, but don't you ever quote these things that you see on your screen to this person.
Right.
It was an estimation. It was an estimation like that. That is dead honest truth. It was an estimate, but you have to think about it from a lending perspective. Yeah, right. They're gonna make some sort of they're gonna have that in the back of their minds because you got to pay them eventually. They don't want you dying on their ass. So when they based on demographics of where the person lives and and all of this information that we know about how you're living because we're seeing everything you buy.
Right. That's straight spooky.
They can make a guesstimation of when they expect you to die, and that was there. If I never get another bank job, I know what the fuck happened because I said this shit.
You know,
So I was 23, between the ages of
that's
23
something.
and 25, working with loans and lines of credit at that particular bank. And it was some spooky mess. I made a lot of money. It was too much money for a 23-year-old. I was going to Miami almost every other month.
Damn.
Not almost every other month, about every other month.
Yeah. I'm not mad at you. Enjoy yourself.
I did. So, and it was the thing about it is, it's like when you get into all of these organizations that have all this information and they have all of this dirt on you, or this actual, whether the dirt is secrets that you have or whether the dirt is exactly how you live, that's not a secret, but it's not public, they can make all types of
Now, when you
money
say
moves for
secrets,
themselves. Yes.
wait, but when you say secrets, I mean, is there something, or is there a space allowed in their computers where they can have like unnecessary decadence if you're into it? Like, I mean, like, how do they find this information out though? I mean, it's got to be some underhanded way. It can't be just like he told
What do
us
you mean?
this. Like the dirt you do when you say, like, the information they have on you, is it stuff like, okay,
I just know from that bank that the people that we dealt with, like we were dealing with their credit card. There's a lot of people are using this like their actual money because they get their points and their airline miles, and they get all of these perks of using the card. That's the whole point of the perks, is to make you use it. And a lot of people paid off their debt as they accumulated it. And that was the majority of the people that I talked to, because my job at the bank was to also try to get them other products, like, balance
right,
transfer, or to get a home equity loan or a line of credit, and to find ways to, or help them consolidate. The balance transfer is a way to consolidate their debt so that they're all at this bank and not everywhere else. They could use a convenience check that is 5.99% APR and go pay.
okay, let me see something. He must be talking too much. They had their finger on the button. They're talking about Scientology, and they're talking about the computers and the dirt that we have. I didn't know that. I know he'll be back, but I didn't know that they try to predict when you're gonna die. That's crazy. So what do you do? Like, trick them and live longer? Ha 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 ha! I lived 20 years longer than you thought. Just like it was said, only God can save America. But on a serious note, people don't know how things are getting ramped up for World War III. That Russia, I found out some stuff, real stuff, not just like fear mongering, and where it can go. And it's frightening. The world we live in, this is the Twilight Zone. Like, you would think with all this technology and all this knowledge that we'd be somewhere else as a people, but the so-called leaders that we have, that we know it's a shadow government behind everything, and the so-called elites, but they're railroading this thing into a world that we never expected. Like they said, and I got you back in, Joe, but
Oh yeah.
just want to say that I heard by 2041, you know how they're trying to make this cashless society, and they've been getting rid of so many ATMs in America and other parts of the world. But when you look at it and they say, oh, they can't stop that, think again. How many places can you go and find a public telephone now? Everybody has cell phones. They ruled that out. You see what I mean? They can stop whatever they want to stop to maneuver you into a certain position. The other thing that I'm going to eventually talk on about facial recognition. I mean, we have no privacy now. No privacy that can be used against us in so many ways. And people years ago were saying, Lance, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're a nutcase. But look at the world we're living in. And then we have these distractions like Will and Jada with the foolishness. Like you said, or somebody said, what is it going to be next, Beyonce and Jay-Z? Yeah, those are the puppets. They've been granted the fame, the money, but when it's their time to follow the script in exchange for what they have, they're going to have to do it.
They owe. Exactly.
That's right, Gifty. And she said, frightening. We need more God more than ever. A spiritual connection. And we've been detached from the spiritual connection. Slowly but surely, it's been severed off. Because we have the fear going on that we want to distract ourselves. And like I said the other day, especially in the Black community, all these forms of escapism, the crack house, the whore house, the church house, the numbers spot, food, bad food, food. We're embalming ourselves. Now we're into the sensory thing. We want to eat more of the bad food, the sugar, the salt. We want the wayward sex. Our hormones are out of control. We want to just douse ourselves in everything and not face reality and not face ourselves and turn ourselves in with that spiritual connection that'll keep us on a level. That if we can collectively, and I'm not speaking religion, but imagine as strong and as powerful as the mind is, because it really is. And they don't want us to understand how powerful our mind is and how powerful our spirits are. That if everybody who is righteous, regardless as to their background, their religion, or whatever, forget the protesting. If we had took an hour or a particular hour where we meditate on something, just like they show in the Matrix how you bend spoons. I'm not saying to bend spoons, but if we all had a vibration along the same lines for peace and taking these people out of the power that they stole and brought people into an awareness of what's going on, we can wipe them out. But we've been so reduced in our spiritual connections and so distracted. And that's the role that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett and so many others, they play. And they're in position. They're the real sleeper cells. They're the real, yeah, they're the real sleeper cells. They get that call, you got to put yourself out there. And you better do it with a smile on your face. So I had to stick that in there because we're talking about it.
That's important.
Not to push a distraction, but to let folks know what it really is. And it's sports and this celebrity stuff and TMZ. That TMZ thing, let me tell you something. I've never been to the West Coast. I've never been to Hollywood. I may know a few people who may have told me things down through the years. But the bottom line is when I worked at the People's Court TV show as security with Harvey Levin on the outside, right there on 7th Avenue, right off of 46th Street in front of the Tourist Center and down by the Manhattan Mall, 30-something Street, I got a chance to see the people who came up to him on a break. And oftentimes he may not want me to be as close because I was overhearing a lot of stuff. But then I realized how powerful and influential this thing was. And they work hard. This is the thing. These folks in Hollywood who are in these positions, they work hard. I'm not saying it in an admirable sense. For some, yes, I do. But the ones who are the movers and the shakers, they work hard to hold on to that grip that they have over our minds. And they're tight with it. And people know dirt on people. This is why, especially with TMZ, use them as an example. Harvey Levin, ain't nobody paying me no mind. But he is a rich, gay, anti-Kanye kind of person, if you know what I mean, right? And the amount of people who are bigwigs that try to dress down. You see they Rolex, but they got the dirty jeans with the holes in it. Come on, man. Yep. I see what you've been. Limousine dropped you off. And when Harvey would leave,
working that mental angle. Always working the mental angle on us.
When he would leave, the limousine would pull up and he'd jump in that bad boy, hit the Newark airport, and he was back on the West Coast in no time. And sometimes turning around and coming back in 2 days to go and video more segments. But man, it's there'll be things I'm talking about that really, not that I know everything, but collectively a lot of information is fed to me, and I don't mind being the guinea pig. I'm already the guinea pig, and I'm out the country, so I'm not.
That's what I was just about to say. You got out, so you had to take it underground to keep it from falling to the wrong hands.
Exactly. I can see them coming a mile away.
That's right.
Tucked away on rough terrain. I'm like Rambo. I'm way up.
Yep.
You ain't walking out no door into some flat street where you can see me. No. And I've reinforced.
That's why something ever happened to me. Y'all know why. I'm just saying it. I'm just putting it out there. That what I disclosed about the bank. That's why I didn't get a name of the bank that I worked for.
Right.
I ain't trying to have them. So they probably roll up in a horse and buggy. It's like the old days and get me.
Now you hit the airport, man. You wear a mask, fake ID. We'll have you out here with me. We'll be out here enjoying.
Look, I need to already have that network in place for that underground railroad. The infrastructure has to be in place.
Well, see, look at it this way. You might have to go to Venezuela, then Costa Rica, then the Philippines, and then come to Ghana. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You might go to Togo. You might go to Burkina Faso and take a cab boy and hit off the border patrol with some money. They'll take it. They'll let you go.
You heard about that? There's some guys who got away from incarceration recently, like about 3 or 4 brothers and a white dude. All got out because of a damn busted. I think either they or somebody else busted a damn day room window.
Oh man!
But it had to be planned because somebody scooped them up in the car when they got out of there.
Orchestrated.
Exactly. And I don't know if they caught them all yet, but I saw it in the feed recently.
Wow. You just never know. You never know what's around you. You never know what's staged. Is there anything by chance anymore? It doesn't seem that way.
I wonder if this Jada thing is a stage thing too, if it's a distraction meant for upcoming, because the situation's getting hot over there in Palestine.
Yeah, most definitely it is.
And Russia was already showing out with the Ukraine. So you wonder, is something coming to a head, and they need a handy dandy distraction so we can look over here, hey, over here, and then boom.
I was looking at some independent media today, and they broke it down like so well. Yeah. And it's not going to go. Nobody can speculate exactly how it's going to go. But if you look at what's happening actually now, and not this stuff that's fed to you on Fox and CNN and these debates and all, and Biden's falling down, who cares? There's some stuff about to go for real. We don't know how, but the speculation was an excellent breakdown. I saw 2 videos. A lot of these videos, I just don't look at videos. Oh, it's gospel. It must be this way. I cross-reference and I read myself, and I talk to people on blogs and comment sections from different countries, and I have my own little way of doing things that it's not the acceptable way where I heard it on this platform. You don't want to hear it that way. Yeah, because
you don't want to have any one place be, like you said, you're cross-referencing and your people that you know, and then other outlets that you look at. You want to have that well-rounded view to see, to sort it out for yourself on top of the information that you get.
Right. So, it takes a lot of speculation, and then one day to the next, things can slightly change. But one of the things that I heard that was like phenomenal, and this guy walked us through it, that at the end of the day, America is definitely going to be changed. It doesn't mean that there are going to be bombs dropped there and here, but the flexing and the posturing, America is so weakened right now. And they talk about Russia not having as good of a military as America, and they can say that, and its bases all over the world in most countries anyway. There's an American base here in Ghana. You think I want to hear that? They might bomb it. Who knows? I'm like, man, I didn't come out here for that. I came out here to get away from the target in the hot spot. Who has a hit on their head? I'm standing next to them. I catch a bullet too. I don't want that. But the bottom line is that they said that Russia the way they did in Ukraine, that although they don't have the military might like America, as it's been helping Ukraine, they're not against doing war crimes. They're not against saying we're going to play dirty. They're not against shooting and killing civilians. Now the onus is on that country to say, hey, we got to back up because this is against the rules. Russia will play dirty. They will. These countries will play dirty. It's not okay. America's not used to getting hit with anything, right? But since the last couple of decades, and America's being hated on so much, we have the BRICS nation, we have all these different things going on. It's a big world out here. And I'm not into the politics because look at Joe Biden. He's got the borders open. Check this out. He's got the borders open. The borders wide open. You don't know how many sleeper cells are in America.
Yeah.
The military is deficient on manpower. I found that out. They don't have enough troops, enough people that they got to shut down certain programs in the army, in the military overall. So there's not the man.
Yeah, we have all these activists, these wannabe activists, these Facebook activist kids who want to make a difference, but they don't go and do and make a difference.
Right. And see, on top of that, there's less recruits, borders are open, the migrants are flooded in, they're being taken care of. And so what's going to happen is that those migrants are going to be the ones that, well, if you want to pay for your time being here, you're going to have to join the military. You know what I mean? And we're sitting by like a useless tool. We don't have a clue because we're following everything else we should be doing for ourselves. And it's just, I don't know. It's sickening because the position that Black people find themselves in overall, I'm not saying anybody here, it's sickening. We should have been really elevated and understand after getting through the 50s and 60s and the early 70s to know the game.
That's why they dropped crack.
For real.
That's true though. We had it not been for the obvious way for them to single us out from everyone else, we should have been able to uplift and make a way and forge ahead for our people, just like every other race of people have been able to come here and do. But everyone else has been able to come. Everyone else has been able to come, and I'm not dissing them because I have friends from all over the place, and I admire them for changing their lot in life and being and making it happen. But at the same time, how many times do we get skipped in that waiting line?
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
our way our very appearance and melanin and everything that's about us gets weaponized against us sometimes in ways that allow it for easily to be singled out.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So that's why Will Smith should be like, we're all in a way sleeping with the enemy, whether it's us who are in countries that oppress us or in bad marriages, like, or seemingly bad marriages or problematic ones. At least they're at least problematic,
right?
If not outright bad. How many of us are quote unquote sleeping with that enemy? And when do we say enough is enough? When does he say enough is enough? When do we as a people say enough is enough?
That's true.
Do we go out like Will Smith and get dragged all over the world and embarrassed and emasculated and downtrodden and oppressed? Or do we do something and not fall for the distractions of the people that hold us hostage?
Right. We should be so much more advanced. And it's almost like being in a classroom where the whole class has to wait for the slowest student who's not even applying themselves. It's not fair. So what do? Do we break away from those deadbeats in our community who don't even want to understand what's going on and leave a space for them to carry them along? Or do we focus on ourselves who are aware of what needs to be done? And that's a very lean bit of people. You know what I mean? We at this point, it seems like if we hold back, we're going to get destroyed ourselves. And I'm not even fear mongering. I'm just saying destroyed on some level, because we're already destroyed a lot on a emotional and mental and spiritual level, which will translate
You said
to
it all right there. And those are the most important levels, because once they get our minds, bodies through the food, our minds through all of the stuff they put out there, and our souls from separating us from connecting to our creators, then once they have us separated like that, it's like an abusive relationship. Once they separate us from our source, then they can do whatever the hell they want with us.
Mm-hmm. More so now than ever before. That's the sad part.
Exactly. And what you touched on there is important too, when you said that, do we forge ahead but separately? Like, oh, well, I'm going to get my stuff together, y'all do you, and then we'll meet up somewhere and then we'll put this thing back together? Or do we try to drag some people along? And it's like, you can't drag this generation of people along. You have to change their mindsets. That's the only way, and then everybody forge ahead together.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that.
Because of all of this wildness, never did I ever think that I'd see any actress, let alone our brothers and sisters, fronting each other off like that in public. Like, he truly is, like the title of the podcast, sleeping with the enemy. At what point do you cut that enemy off until they're not an enemy anymore?
Exactly. Well, she's looking for the attention. She has the book out. She's got the orders to be the one to distract. There's other ones out there.
They probably whispering that shit to her. Like, she probably think it's coming from her own mind, and they got all types of they talking to her through her own Wi-Fi connection. Jada, you should fucking tell Will that he ain't shit and that August fuck better. You know what? I think I should tell Will that while she's sleeping, they saying that shit to her.
Let me go run to the and keep talking for 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
No problem. And then they work on Will and tell him, you ain't shit. Jada fucking August, you got to do everything in your power to make sure you keep this woman. And they keep them in this weird cycle of looking like buffoons, because they're looking like high-class buffoons right now. It's high-class buffoonery the way they're carrying on. High-class buffoonery. Because buffoonery isn't just simply the kid sagging the pants or the girl twerking on the ancestral grounds where we had people leaving to go to America to be sold as slaves. No, the buffoonery is happening on a high class level to almost show us as a culture, like, okay, you think that you have this power couple, you think that you can make it, you think that you two can do something and forge ahead. We give you so few role models and people doing it in a way that's celebrated and lauded and that's A-list and all of that stuff. And look, the same bickering buffoonery is going to happen at the highest levels. And you see how all of these other stars or all of these other people from different backgrounds, they don't bring their problems to the red table. They don't bring it to the red table to be dissected by people who don't care about your family. What's the point, Jada? Like, what's the point of putting it out there like that for everybody to see, for everyone to dissect and for everyone to know about. Like, what's the point ultimately? Like, there's no lesson to be had from all of this because it's just pot shots being taken. It isn't, oh, well, we're working on this. They'll say we have this, this sloppy social experiment called our lives for you. She wants to turn them into a reality TV show when they are A-list Hollywood. That's a step backwards. A step backwards on purpose is buffoonery. So why, Jada? Why? Why take a step back and be their example of high class buffoonery? What is the end game in all of this? So is it to have a public divorce or a public struggle fest?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of it, what's the point? Why bring this up? Work on the healing. Stop trying to make your family look thirsty as you are, Jada. Because there ain't no reason for I almost said Jay-Z. When we lose our mind if this happened to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
I know, right? We'll be distracted then.
Exactly. Then we know it's a distraction. Then we know for a fact they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it with Jay-Z and Beyonce because we were like, "Oh, this is a trick. We know this is a trick. We know a trick when we see one." But Jada is just C-list enough for us to wonder if it's a trick or not.
I know. But you hear what Gifty said? They're the new Whitney and Bobby.
The new Whitney. Exactly. How the hell did Will Smith and Jada Pinkett become the new Whitney and Bobby and not a drug in sight? What the hell?
Good
Or
words.
maybe it's like we were talking about earlier. Maybe the crack pipe is on the table. They showing us the crack pipe is on the table. This is the metaphorical crack pipe is on the table, and we don't care because we got that much money.
Slavery never ended. Now it's imperceptible, like carbon monoxide. Put you to sleep, and then you're dead before you even know what happened.
All of that. But Jada's gonna grab an ether. Jada's gonna grab a ether rag and make sure that she take that. She wanna be up close. She wanna feel his heartbeat and stop herself.
Real.
That's the way she seems to be approaching it. I don't see I guess the issue that I have with it all is that I don't see the point. What is the point of it all? What is she hoping to gain? Selling a book. How many books are you really gonna sell, Jada?
I know.
Are you going to sell as many books as Will is going to lose? He's been losing, like literally the reports have been coming out. He has been losing. There's certain studios that are refusing to work with him and canceling things that he has had on the table. Because of Chris Rock? No, because of Jada. Oh, but yeah, they can deal with it. They don't give a shit about him slapping some black dude. That's true. Because the thing about it is, okay, when they have a movie come out, they don't know, he can't control Jada, obviously. So they don't want their movie or their whatever it is to be overshadowed by whatever the fuck she's gonna pull out of her bag next. Next thing you know, she's gonna talk about how she stick this in him and that in him when he doing an action movie. He can't be no action star where she talking about dildos going up his ass. Oh my God. How you gonna be an action star? Well, I got the Matrix 4 coming out, and then here comes Jada right behind him. Will likes dildos. Oh my God! So now, how you gonna sell that movie? So what's your name gonna be Wildo? Wildo. She got the Wildo inside of him. That was probably what she called it. Wildo. Go get the Wildo, Jada. She probably do all of that freaky white dude buying a black prostitute in the 50s shit. Spit in my face. I'm an evil guy. Make me feel the pain. Exactly. No, that's real though. Yeah. I've been in S&M clubs on a nosy tip. Exactly. Got that guilt. They want to be degraded because they're guilty. Exactly. So let's set them straight. You know what I mean? Yep. So he's feeling some sort of guilt for, like, she probably talked some shit to him, like, you wouldn't have got none of them roles if Tupac was alive. I put a
Right.
Wildo in you. You think they want you in Bad Boys with your Wildo?
Wouldn't be paying her no mind. She'd be just another whatever, clout chasing. It's only because he's not here she can make up the past like that. But really, remember we were saying earlier how weird she looked. Look at the picture there on the banner on the left with that stuff.
Lord,
yeah. She's
I wouldn't trust her behind you like that, Lance.
I got.
She look like she up to some. She look like she up to some shit.
I got auto clench. She can't get anywhere.
She ain't gonna have you making no diamonds.
like we said earlier, Will Smith is so upset with what she's doing, and he's so anal right now and clenching from behind. If you stuck a diamond up there, he'd cut it in half.
He cutting diamonds in half. That's the new phrase for when you getting just wore out by your partner, by your wife, by your husband. You clenching diamonds and you cutting diamonds.
Got the brother doing male Kegels.
She probably got one of them. One of them candy Burris balls in there where you could control it from. You could control the shit from a different city.
Exactly.
So while she's up there talking about, so as soon as she get up there and start talking to some shit about him and about how ratchet, like how she don't want to have sex with him and all that shit, then she hit the button and vibrate a ball in his ass.
Benoit balls.
And then Will and I have been separated for 7 years. And I never really loved him. He's like, oh, it hurts so good.
But yeah, it was mentioned earlier.
Meanwhile, Jaden is over there crying and just buying up all the dresses.
Oh no, right? No, but
nothing wrong with that. But it's like, come on, like they live unconventionally because they've seen some unconventional shit apparently.
Right. But what do you think about that with her having something on him? Like we just mentioned the dildos and stuff. Do you think it's something?
Wildo. Wildo Baggins, like Lord of the Rings.
That's a marketing ploy. But what more could she's controlling him somehow. Does she have some secret on him?
I think she does. And the wife and the husband know everything. So, and especially how they have apparently got down. Like it's a weird thing. Like that used to be a tactic that dudes and pimps used to use, like a overbearing dude or a pimp would use, where they would get the person. This is a lesson, ladies. Where they would get you to do the nastiest, freakiest thing that would embarrass your ass if it ever got out there. Now they got some over your head.
Yep.
It's like old pimp things. Like she got with him and then she made him do all of the craziest, freakiest shit that she could. And that's why you put them on that track early. You put them on that stroll early and make them do the nastiest, craziest things and break them down up front, so that if they wanted to go back to a square life, they can. Well, how would everyone at the PTA, how would they respond if I told them about all the nasty shit you did, girl? Now go out there and make my money. I'm surprised. She probably got a purple hat.
They break you down like the Greens. Break you down and build you back up.
Exactly. Jada did all. She pimped the shit out of Will.
Seriously. And
got him apologizing for he all of this shit that he's out there doing is like one big ass long apology.
Yeah. But if she really was talk like that, she wouldn't have done him that way. He wouldn't allow that.
That's true. And it's crazy because you could tell that whatever craziness they got into or whatever weirdness they apparently may have gotten into, he did the most embarrassing shit.
Right. But she was
in the moment. Yeah.
She was around those movies and he was around too as a rapper. But to me, she was with it. Like, I need to get this fame. And to me, it was almost, I don't know how they met or anything, but it was almost like, to me, she was sicked on him. Like he was so innocent, even though he may have done things. She's the one who's the deep one, not to throw off on a woman, but this is what it is. Like she was part of that get down crew, and Will knew about it, but she really indoctrinated him with it. That's what my spirit tells me, right? And now
it
he's
feels
caught.
like it with the way she taught. With the way she taught, she seems to be taking the lead on all of this shit. That's why we feel that way.
Yeah.
He don't seem to be in control of it. She seems to be in control of the three-way.
Yeah. Exactly.
So whatever they got whatever they got into, it seems like he was like it seems that way. Who knows? Behind closed doors, he might have been whatever, but it just seemed with the way she seems so confident with it, and he seems so. The thing about it is, it's not like Angelina Jolie with her crazy ass allegedly back in the day, wearing vials of blood and shit. Where her and Billy Bob Thornton was wearing each other's blood and fucking in limos and telling people on TV before they go to an award show, we fucked in the car. I'm like, man, y'all so fucking trashy. Like we don't want to hear that.
In a relationship. You see on the screen?
Where? Hold on.
Jade is the man in the relationship.
Exactly. And it's backwards because, like, we don't have the society yet where people talk about the whatever it is. Like, okay, it's a patriarchy. Okay, let's just say that. Let's say it's a patriarchy. What type of success do y'all expect to have with her leading if it is a patriarchy, especially in Hollywood? When men are in control of all of this stuff, a man has to take the lead to facilitate these things.
That's right.
Especially if he's the A-list, 6'2", chiseled guy who's gonna be put in movies. Now she's taking down his image. Like the thing about it is like whatever they did behind closed doors or whatever, however their life got down, however they got down in life, he doesn't seem like the type. Hancock. Exactly. It ain't no Hancock anymore. It's Hancock. You're right, David. But it's like, how in the world you gonna sit there? You're the leading. Like she's taking down his leading man image. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how is he gonna be able to get these jobs? Like, do you only want him to do ratchet ass independent films, or you want to throw him in that wig and make him the new Medea? Because that's what it's going.
He'll be a shoe shine boy at the train station in some old 1930s.
He'll go right back to being Bagger Vance, carrying the damn golf clubs again. Keep fucking with Jada.
But to bring it up again, what do you think happened really and truly? We know the tax thing with Wesley Snipes, but he was so dynamic and he's gone. He's not
bankable.
Gone.
Exactly. He probably didn't do something that one of these label heads wanted him to do, like not on the sinister level, but that too.
Well, he wore the dress. He wore the dress.
He wore the dress. Yeah, he did get in too long too and throw on a dress.
So he wore the dress.
Maybe that's when they got him. That might have been when they got him. Actually, you know what? There you go. I think we figured it out. When they threw him in that dress, they knew they knew they're like, oh, we got this bitch.
Exactly. Yeah.
They threw him in that dress, like, and that's what we were just talking about now, where the pimp will grab up somebody and say, I'm gonna make them do the most not them thing to do. And once I know that I can make them do whatever the not them thing is, that's my bitch. I can send her out on all type of tracks at that point.
That's true. Wow.
It's like I literally I listened to the book on tape of I use all these pimp analogies or whatever because this
Iceberg Slim
the Iceberg Slim, I heard that whole thing. It's like 12 hours.
Oh, man.
I listened to the book on tape on that, and the way that they coldly and calculated break down the mind of a. He talked about this one story, Iceberg, where he got his first hoe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the club, and this is how dudes like you forget when you're listening to it or when you're reading it. This was going on in the 40s and 30s.
Right.
He wrote the book in the 60s when he was a grown older man out of the game.
Right.
He wrote that book in the 60s when he was out of the game. So when he was living the life, it was in the 30s and 40s, and the language that they used, and the slang that was used, and the way that people get down is exactly how they get down today. Exactly.
Just
I
change the
ain't that
slang.
far. I ain't that far removed from the clubs. I just stopped clubbing a few years ago. I'm only 43. So he went to a night spot in this new place, so he didn't know after he got out of jail or something like that. Because he was a genius. Iceberg Slim was a genius. He got a full scholarship to Tuskegee. Like he was a genius. He literally, but he had been so abused and so corrupted at an early age. When you read the book, you hear about all that stuff. He got dogged.
Right.
And that he could only think in terms of street poison, as he called it, where it was all about sex and drugs and trying to, and he literally psychologically low key hated his mother because she broke him up. He saw her get played by some hustler and break up him and his stepfather, who he
Mm-hmm.
loved, he watched his mom play that dude. He watched her, so he lost all faith in women when he watched his mom with a straight face play a man that saved them from poverty.
Wow.
So he didn't trust women at all anymore. So he he basically he went to the club, you know, got the girl a drink. The way they arranged it, so they went back to the house, and they basically started a toxic relationship of.
Mm-hmm.
He just met this girl, slapping her around, having sex with her all types of crazy ways, getting money from her, and then he eventually put her on the street.
Wow. Good
The way they
money.
described, she tried to seduce him and all of this stuff. Took him back to the house, put on music, put on jazz music. Now nowadays, he was talking about the stickers. He's talking about the stickers on the wall that glue in the dark. It sounded like shit that happens today. Like girls have a little first apartment, stickers on the wall with the glowing sort of background, and she's pulling out weed for them to smoke, and then it leads to all of that crazy, wild, kinky stuff, and then she's cussing him out because he's propositioning her to be a prostitute. He's slapping her, beating her, but then they smoke some more, have some sex, and then all of a sudden she's caught up in the mental game of loving to get hit. He already knew she was damaged. He already
Oh,
knew she was damaged.
wow. I got a little treat right here for you, man. I found that old show. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. It was 14 minutes, but I'm gonna. I sound like Ralph Cramden. I'm gonna. Well, let me play a piece of this. Wait a second. I think you fell off. He fell off too. He just fell off. Well, that's good. Not that it's good, but I can take that opportunity before he comes back to play this. So let me see what he said was it last year? I think so. Let me turn this up.
That you can sit there and degrade your family with that red table talk and air out your dirty laundry for profit, embarrass the hell out of Will left and right. Now, I'm not in favor of the fragility, the so-called fragility of a man's ego, as a lot of feminists want to try to say and all that stuff. But I am for not having your business out in the streets so that other people can mess with you, with your family about it. This
Yeah.
stuff has gotten very, very wild. I remember when I heard about it. Excuse me. When I first heard about it, it was from my best friend, Dr. Macario Garcia, who is a PhD legal anthropologist. We've been best friends since we were kids in high school in honors classes.
So he wanted to hear, and I've done some research for him in the past, some qualitative research. Uh, Now, he wanted to hear how I felt about the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing. He contacted me and said this racial and power dynamic, along with the comedy thing, because I've done comedy, stand-up comedy, is more your thing, Joe. So I want to hear what you have to say about this. I really want to hear your opinion, and it was an honor for my best friend to want that. And given his position as a teacher and as someone who has the paperwork, all that stuff, to want to hear my comments on all of that. I thought it was disgusting that Chris Rock had to go through that. Will Smith got up at the Oscars and smacked another black man in the face in front of all of those white people, in front of those people who have so long marginalized and degraded us in picture and in words and in moving pictures. They've degraded us in every way, possible. And Will Smith, light skinned, Hollywood, golden boy, Scientologist family. He got in bed with that white Hollywood real fast. He got in bed with them faster than most people do. So you wonder what goes on behind that too. But I'm not going to speculate on that part so much as the fact that, as far as much as I'm going to mention the fact that this man got up there and smacked one of our great American humorists. Chris Rock is a legend. He's been in this game for 40 years speaking truth to power and getting flack for it in a lot of ways. But he's doing this for his people, our people. His earliest works, even before he got super popular, were all about talking about how we get treated. He's in the tradition of Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, Eddie Murphy. You know, he's in that tradition. He went on tour. Chris Rock went on tour with Eddie Murphy and Paul Mooney back in the day. So that's where Chris Rock is coming from. And the fact that our people are sitting here justifying and rooting and hollering and hooping and happy that Will Smith chose violence against that man for a joke about his problematic wife. Her haircut, it really. He didn't talk about her illness because he probably didn't even know about her illness. Not many of us did know about her illness, her alopecia, which is male and female pattern baldness. It's baldness. And there's a lot of reasons that a person can have alopecia, and a lot of ways that some people get a handle on it too. But now, you mean to tell me, Jada, that you can sit there and degrade your family with that red table talk and air out your dirty laundry for profit, embarrass the hell out of Will left and right? Now, I'm not in favor of the fragility, the so-called fragility of a man's ego, as a lot of feminists want to try to say and all that stuff. But I am for not having your business out in the streets so that other people can mess with you, with your family about it. She put Will in a really messed up situation before the Oscars by talking about how she has entanglements with other men, opening her bedroom door and opening Will's bedroom door to the whole world and the ridicule that comes with it, just to give herself a platform and clout and all of these things. It's very selfish. It's a very selfish thing to do to your family and to your kids and to your husband. And you were messing with that boy who your boy brought home. Jaden brought a friend home. That's who that guy is, one of the guys she's been entangled with. He brought that guy home. They were going on vacation trips. It's like a family little friend. And behind closed doors, you banging this kid's back out, or he's banging your back out, whichever way y'all doing it over there. Like hair pulling and all probably happen. You never know. Then you got to tell Will. Now he got to sit at the red table with tears streaming out of his eyes, getting embarrassed, getting punchlines left and right. And that guy finally had a meltdown when he looked over at you. And I'm not so sure she didn't say some bullshit. Like, I can imagine her saying some shit under her breath or fucked up that made him, again, feel like he had to jump out and be a toxic male. Like he had to go out there and be the type of guy he is not. Will Smith is not a fighter like that. He is from West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days. You know, even in the damn show, mom sent him to Bel Air because she knows she ain't got that type. So why in the hell are you gonna, give a funky look on your face? It was an honor for Chris Rock to roast you, for him to say anything about you. We don't go around smacking white legends like that. Did anybody smack Don Rickles? Did anybody smack George Carlin? Did anybody smack? Let's go back to our legends too. Paul Mooney, Bill Cosby. Sorry, I brought him up. I'm sorry I brought him up. I shouldn't have brought him up. We got a little bit of a moratorium on bringing him up, and we can't talk about him and his indiscretions. Now let me stop. But there's no way in the world we're letting our great American humorists not be able to do one of the most American things, which is get on a stage and speak truth to powerful people or make jokes about powerful people. That is a uniquely American thing. And some have even said that it's the only thing that Black people have gotten out of the entire slavery, genocide, dehumanization, Jim Crow, and constant bullshit that we still get. The only thing, we get to talk and say whatever the fuck we want to powerful people because they know they owe us. So Will Smith got up like he was some sort of fucking slave master, smacking an uppity, sass mouth slave, someone who was beneath his power level in Hollywood. He did that. He wouldn't have done that to anybody else. He wouldn't have done that to a female, thank goodness. Or hopefully, you never know with him. He never would have done that to a white man, most definitely. He never would have done that to LGBTQIA because of the power dynamics nowadays in Hollywood. So he wouldn't have done that. He did that to a Black man, a brother. And the fact that other Black people are cheering it on, like it's the tough, cool thing to do. Now that's the saddest part of all, because we should know better. It's not heroic and it's not masculine and it's not cool to hit another brother doing his job in front of all these other white people because y'all couldn't handle the joke. So not only is this so-called role model and this so-called example and this so-called I don't cuss in my records. He said that back in the day too, trying to talk about the hip-hoppers. Trying to shame Black people saying, I don't cuss in my records. And I got this. I won this. I don't cuss in my records. Okay. We have lived a profane existence in America. So if our hip-hoppers are going to describe that profane existence, they may use some profanity. So who are you to get up there and talk about your difference from them? He was separating himself in that moment. He was separating himself. So now you want to go ahead and try to live up to these macho stereotypes that you were bashing when you had other awards in your hand. Meanwhile, people forget in '89, he went to jail that time for for sicking his bodyguard on a man and either blinding him or nearly blinding him. But yeah, but Will Smith went to jail for that. I mean, there's a mugshot and everything. So that's the thing. It's crazy. And the narcissism and the pompousness and the fake BS bullshit ass demon red talk bullshit. It's that red table shit. I don't get. It seems fucked up. The more you think about it, it's a red table. It's got these sinister sort of connotations to it. But also, what you trying to say? We ain't black. We ain't dark skinned. We red. It's the red table. Is that what you're saying? I started seeing all of that shit now that you smacked the darkest comedian that you could. You know, I've been roasting them all week. I've been saying some pretty foul things about how foul they were. Because not only did they do that to our brother Chris Rock, who has got up on those stages and talked about all of this American stuff and brought it to the world for us. Not only did they do that to him, but they laughed and gloated about it until that hammer came down, which you knew, which any of us with some sense knew that was going to happen, because we knew that Will Smith was going to get his opportunity to get his nigga moment. They were going to get a chance to fuck with him now that he did something on live television in front of these people, upsetting their sensibilities. And I say sensibilities because he didn't upset their morality, because they were doing stuff like that to us for decades, centuries. So he broke the rules when he did it on TV. And in a weird, messed up way, I'm kind of glad he did, because they're gonna show him. They really gonna show him. And it's already started to happen. Stay tuned.
Wow, that was last year. He was quite a prophet. He fell off. Joe Harden fell off. He didn't return, but I think the points have been made. And interesting dialogue. He started off with the jokes and the roast, and we got down to it. And to me, it was a good, spontaneous, impromptu dialogue. So expect more of those all week, every time. As they come in, I'm going to do them. Right now, it's 4:18 a.m. for me. And as soon as I wake up, I'm going to do the morning show. And I still have some runs to do, but that's okay. I enjoyed myself tonight, and I'm glad everybody's here. And just, when you want to have these types of dialogues, I'm going to add Dawood Ali. Before we sign off, share your opinion. Welcome in.
Hey, shalom, my brother. How you doing, this evening?
Yes, yeah. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I
appreciate everything you do over the years, Brother Lance. You've been a lighthouse for me, and in my journey in spirituality.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that. Because people don't understand sometimes. We'll get a little comedic, and we have a serious topic for them, but we'll draw them in with some jokes, with some adult style sometime, and get the message to the people who need it. Because a brother like you already know the deal. I might already know the deal, but there's some people who we got to catch them off guard. But go ahead and talk to us, brother. Share what you have to share.
Yeah, man. I mean, this whole thing, sleeping with the enemy. I mean, Jada Sinking Smith. She's obviously showing her true colors. She's untrustworthy. She had recently said that she was, geeking with Tupac when he was in prison. And there's been young ladies who have done research and found out that Tupac actually had a girlfriend at the time, that Jada Pinkett Smith is alleging that she had a relationship with Tupac. So, these people are actors at the end of the day. You got Chris Rock, after that happens, he goes on a comedy tour, he sells out. So it was good. It was good publicity.
Right.
And people are all caught up in that shit. You know, this thing that's going on, and really not paying attention to what's going on in the world that they live in. Last time I checked, Dr. King said injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're caught up here, you know, with Jada, but that's fine. That's where the people are, right? You know, you got to go where the people are, and you know, sleeping with the enemy. That's something it's a real thing.
It is.
Brother Lance, I've studied the Bible. I for over 10 years, and I did not start my life out reading the Bible. I was raised Muslim, but after I was age 5, my dad was like, "Okay, we're not going to do this anymore," and he was into something else. And you know, I stopped doing it. But I was raised to be very spiritual. I didn't start reading the Bible until about 2013, and I really got into it. You know, tearing it apart, because at the end of the day, you know, I haven't found too many people that have actually read the scriptures, and I know that might offend a lot of people, but I don't care.
Right.
Jesus said that you can only get offended if you have 4 legs. So what are you really?
Right.
Yeah, and you know, nobody is above reproach. So I can just use the book against them, and it seems pathetic at this point. But we do have to, you know, get more educated. I didn't come up here to you know, style on you. I'm just kind of showing a little bit of
No.
where
Break it
my
down,
mind
brother.
thinks.
Let me just say it. I depend on you, and I depend on so many people who have put the time in different areas that I haven't. And my role here is not like most people who have platforms to compete with anybody or try to have a pissing contest. I appreciate what you bring, because there are people who are listening. There are people who are watching. So for me to sit up here and be Mr. Ego dude, I'm not going to do it. So when you're here, you never have to worry about that. Now, I know on other platforms, they have some people, entities out there that don't want to lose their shine. But your shine is my shine, because they're going to hear and say, I heard this on the Lancescurv show. That's all. And they can come back. And anytime you want to come back and drop something, just all my contact information is out there. Let me know, and I'll sit back. Because listen, you know that I've done shows. We have people who are knowledgeable in different areas of expertise, and they're like, Lance, you still there? I'm quiet and I let them have the floor, because I'm learning. So the studying you did makes me better. Like I tell people,
Yeah.
I don't have to go and get a medical degree to fix my own body. All I got to do is pay the person who's a doctor to do it for me, because he put the years of study in. I can't say that I even read the Bible and studied like you. I can't say I paid attention in Sunday school. So I need you. But go ahead, brother. Shine.
Yeah, okay, brother. Hey, and I, you know, you're the only person that I'll ever say I apologize to, other than my children.
I
You're the
understand,
only,
brother.
because I respect you, man. I remember the bus driver story that you told, you know, about you
Yes.
being a bus driver, and it's like, oh, I've been waiting to say this. Okay, we're gonna get on topic, but thank you, Mr. Bus Driver, bus driver, bus driver. Thank you, Mr. Bus Driver, for bringing us home. Because your bus is our bus, and our bus is your bus. Thank you, Mr. Bus Driver, for bringing us home. Dude, I've been wanting to tell you that for like 2 years. Hey, but we up here, man. We up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to offer my skills, my expertise. I study the Bible. I study language most of all. I don't just accept the Bible in English, because English is a pig. It's pig Latin. English is not the best way to get a full understanding of the English language. People really have to use etymology, get into it. It's an all-expansive, all-encompassing, all-consuming effort, because we're coming out of something, going into something else. And so we do have to climb out of it. And the only way is through knowledge, and accumulating massive amounts of knowledge. And what I did, Lance, was I invented a method to do that. And
Wow.
I've been testing it since 2017. Literally, I've been testing this, and it hasn't failed. I even picked out 3 specific goals. for the actual intent, which I'm not going to share those goals. Those are things I'm going to do in the process of my business. But what I did find was that, yeah, there's a way we can approach all knowledge, and extract something from it. And it also comes with a method. So I think this is a good time. You know, things happen for a reason. I've been wanting to talk to you for years. It's just, you know, waiting. You know, things are happening. You know, we're moving here, we're moving there, we're doing this, we're doing that. I'm all over YouTube. I come from the Sonnet or Chitlin circuit, over there, over there with the conscious community that he recently said over with Q Butter that he don't give a F about. You know, he's like, I don't give a F about the conscious community. I'm like, whoa, you said that over there with Q Butter and them, but then you get back talking about, did Jesus really exist? All these other videos and things like that. You know, just, man, what are you doing? You're in the way. And I'm gonna tell you something, and this is something that I say often because it's not tooting my own horn, because it was me and a brother named Digital Pit Boss. And I didn't even know he was doing that at the time. But it was between me and Digital Pit Boss. That's the reason why Sonetter put the Hebrews on trial.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. Because back then, you know, I was telling Sonetter, I'm like, listen, man. And I would call in every now and then. I didn't have like a relationship with him like that, but I would call at certain times, and I would, you know, and it got to a point where he blocked me.
Wow.
But that's when he made his pivot and then started putting the Hebrews on trial. And then I got busy doing other things in life, but kept my research going and studies and stuff. But yeah, I'm the reason why he put the Hebrews on trial, because I told him people have not really read the Bible. And I know people may have some kind of emotional reaction to that, but I'm not worried about those ones.
Right.
It's not those ones I'm worried about or even thinking about anymore. It's the people that, like Johnny Cash said in The Man in Black, the song, he said, for those who have never read or listened to the words that Jesus said. Simple stuff. That, you know, we're getting bogged down because we're missing the simple things. Did Jesus exist or not? It doesn't matter if he existed. He's still the greatest teacher that ever existed next to Thoth. You know, I've read the Emerald Tablets. I don't know how many times. I get it. No matter where the Emerald Tablets came from, that doesn't matter. I just extracted the wisdom from it. Because if I was going to claim any religion, I would say I'm a Taoist. Because the Tao Te Ching is an awesome document. But when you read the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu lets you know that, hey, you can go dark side or be a Jedi with this knowledge. You know, and that's really how it works out from the Tao Te Ching or Tao Te Ching, however anybody wants to say it. Yeah. So and yeah, I would say I'm more of a Taoist than anything, because the position of a Taoist, the way Lao Tzu describes it, is that you're a loving grandmother. You know, you're a loving grandmother, and we know historically there have been grandmothers who have let their sons and grandchildren go into the military to go die for their country. So the position of grandmother is a bit complex. Yeah, but I love without a limit, man. I love for no reason. I love because it's easy. It's better on me, you know, to serve other people and not think so much about myself. And I'm 45 right now, so I want to offer my services to you, Brother Lance, and I'd love to talk to you offline, and so we can, you know, be more specific about some things and help in some areas where people are having some problems. Because I was even in the chat room, and you know, some of the things that are being brought up, the way people are responding to it. Okay, I'm like, okay, we got to be more mature too. That's another thing about this. We have to be more mature, and you're the perfect. You're the perfect. Wow, look at this. Because I remember some of the conversation that you would have with, you know, in some of your videos, you know, where you're willing to go there. you know, to the maybe the XXX side, when, you know, other people like, oh no, I'm all moral and yeah, I'm clean and I don't do this and that. But it's like, how'd you get here? Somebody was boning.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, somebody was bumping uglies, okay, and ejaculated in a vagina, and the fallopian tubes was penetrated, right, and got to the egg. Okay, so somebody was bumping uglies. The nasty was going on, but and I came to this 2 years ago. The problem isn't actually morality; it's morale, my brother. It's morale. That's what we're missing, not the morality aspect, because people will start getting too much into their heads. What I did, you know, what she did to me in the elevator, and it's like, oh, you start scratching your head, and it's like, oh well, you know, but no, it's about morale. Because if we had morale, those things would be secondary.
Right.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I like this. This is what I like. You know what I mean? And it's funny because, and Joe returned back again, but we were talking and we said, hey, let's do this tonight. And I did a show earlier, took care of some business, and I'm like, I don't care if it's late, let's roll. And the feeling was there. And it's nice how we have a full chat room. We have some people listening. And you came in and dropped this. This is what I like about it, is because it's spontaneous. We have good people who listen. We have others with weird spirits who lurk, want to whisper and say,
well.
don't worry about it. You know
Some Jada's in the building.
There's always them. You know what I mean? But overall,
a round head monster.
Yeah.
Monster, man. She ain't no good, man. She ain't no good, man. She out of line completely,
for
man.
Nobody. Good for nobody.
Hey, where's Satchmo with the hook? Pull this bitch off stage, man.
Don't ever let her touch the Apollo stump either. Because it'll die.
Well, if she question. If she touched it, it'll be 3 different men's sperm on her hand that rubs off on it.
Oh, right.
A nasty tree grows.
Man. Yeah, she's out of line, man. She's out of line. See, the internet, you can't fuck with the internet, man, because people gonna pay attention, and we just gotta learn to listen to everybody. They gave us this word human, and we call ourselves human, but Paul told us to rightly divide the word of truth. I take the scriptures as actual instructions, not as some shit that's beating my ass and whipping me and telling me I'm gonna go to the hellfire.
Right.
No, I take them as instructions. And so I see, okay, so rightly divide the word of truth. Human. Oh, black. Right? Because you got hue. And then you have the word man. When you look at the Lance, I'm telling you, etimonline.com. Look up the definition of the word man. I'm telling you, it's going to blow your hair back.
Wow.
It's going to blow your hair back because it starts out with a featherless bipedal plantigrade. But it's saying featherless. That's important because historically or prehistorically, our people were rocking feathers. We traded in our feathers for a derby.
I watch a lot of science. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And they made it illegal. They made it hard. They had the Klan, operating at full steam by 1915 when Woodrow Wilson introduced them to the White House and played that film, Birth of a Nation.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was the dirtiest thing that he could have ever. That's the dirtiest thing. That's one of the dirtiest things a president could ever do to a people. Is sit there and let that intellectual property or that intellectual sickness be premiered in the White House that black people built, and dogged us out so bad that the Klan came back, because the Klan was gone when that happened, and then they came back. They had a resurgence because of that movie and because of him endorsing it.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was. And the American people today, they don't know that, because they're constantly being told, do not look back at history. Do not look back at history. Even somebody like Kanye West, who seemed like he was coming out doing a good thing, but he said, oh, you can look at history, but don't look too far back. Like, what are you talking about? Don't look too far back.
Right.
You know? And then this whole anti-woke agenda, once again, you know, the masses are always led. So being that the masses are always led, they're anti-woke, they're anti-critical race theory. And critical race theory is simply studying American history, because it should be no Black History Month.
But they gave it that name on purpose. It's like that way they could put it into a nice little box and they'll have a nice talking point when they fight against it, the actual real history.
Absolutely. And box is the perfect word, because you put a shipping label on a box.
Exactly.
You put a shipping label on a box, and that shipping label is black.
Wow.
That's what they did. And they didn't solidify it, but what they did was they passed the 14th Amendment, which allowed color of law. So there's that word Hugh again. Hugh Jackman, Hugh Hefner, Howard Hughes, you know, hue, color of law, prima facie evidence, which means it's on the face. It's not real. And the 14th Amendment also allows for construction and construed. That's why any media outlet that ever says the word Black, we should have a class action lawsuit against them for slander. That's how real this shit is. And you have Abraham Lincoln, 1855, Dungy versus Spencer. Dungy hired Abraham Lincoln and said, my brother-in-law is calling me Black Bill. His name was William Dungy. He said, my brother-in-law is calling me Black. That means criminal in the law. That's slander. And Abraham Lincoln won on behalf of Dungy. This is in the Library of Congress. This is the shit that so-called Black people need to be reading. And I'm going to tell you, Brother Lance, the people that are in the way of this, it's the Moorish Science Temple of America, or allegedly, because I don't want to, bring no funk. But yeah, it's allegedly the Moorish Science Temple of America. They have this knowledge, but for some reason they're not passing it. Oh, I know why, because they're not reading the Circle 7 Quran. You know, bring a Moor up here that's read the Circle 7 Quran, and I'll show you a fool who has never read it.
Well, let's do a show on that in the future, man. I'll put it out there to advertise if you want to come on in.
Yeah, absolutely. Because these people are in the way. They have this knowledge. They know about Jesus's life from age 12 to 30. It's in the Circle 7 Quran that was published in 1927, which is an amalgamation of the Akashic records. There's no doubt about that. Noble Drew Ali, he's blameless so far as I'm concerned, because everything that he gave was light. When he formed the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1913, he's the reason why the Federal Reserve was created, because he figured something out about American history that was too damn much. It was like, oh shit, we got to move around. and they moved around and they created the Federal Reserve. You know, it was like December, the creature Jekyll Island, that whole thing. But it was because of Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America. But his publication was the Circle 7 Quran. And the audiobook is available on YouTube. There's a brother, he's going through it for people who, maybe not have access to the Circle 7 Quran. But yeah, the audiobook is available on YouTube for you to listen to. So you can see what Jesus was doing from age 12 to 30. It's awesome. Yeah, he went to Africa. He went to Egypt. He went to Asia, specifically India. And when he went to India, he addressed the Brahms, the teachers. He addressed them, and they said, "You're a master sage." That's how they were talking to him. And these Christians, they don't know that, but if they do find it, read it, and it's beautiful stuff. It's beautiful stuff.
This is what we'll do. we'll pick a date, whatever date's best for you, within ASAP, and we'll make a title that is a bit of a challenge. And we'll have certain keywords there where those who may have opposing views, who might be afraid to step up to the plate to deal with you, they'll listen, but they can't help themselves. And you come on and go for a nice long lecture with what you know and see who steps to the plate. And we'll invite others in, not to roll around in the sand and argue and the ignorant thing, but to intelligently share a different perspective to see what stands. And since you're well versed in this, like I say, I depend on those who have done the research. And I also say that I may not be the greatest whatever, but I'm like Don King. And it's my job to get the butts in the seats and get those who are getting the ring, share what it is that they know, and make us all better because of the research that you've done. We can't have that go to waste. Anybody who's researched, we can't have it go to waste. You see what I mean? So it'll be a very interesting thing because I'll promote it heavily and people will call in or will be in the comment section and we can roll with it that way and there will be no limit.
Word. Yeah. I'll take all comers because at the end of the day, we all got to go back into the book. And then when we go back into the book and take another look, we'll find the difference between the queen and the rook. Because at the end of the day, this is a game. The scriptures, all scriptures are mythology. It's mythology. And you're like, oh, mythology, that means it's not real. No, not necessarily. There are things that are seen and there's things that are unseen. And those things that are unseen, they're accessed through, symbols. Because, I'll quote Albert Pike, because I read Scottish Rite Freemasonry. And I don't know if it's the first, second, or third degree, but anyways, he says that symbols are more powerful than words.
They are.
Yep.
And so I say, oh, okay, I get it. And so there's predominant thoughts that people have, which are fine. But if you come and bring those predominant thoughts to the party, you're not going to leave the same. So you practice open-minded before you ever decide to try to challenge me, because I'm literally open-minded because my research is based on open source. My book, I published it in 2017, by the way, though, Lance. So this is something I did a long time ago, but I've been means testing it for years. I've been means testing it since, even before 2017. We'll just say that. It's on Amazon. I put it up there. It's called The Science of Fiction Dialectic.
Wow.
Okay, now.
Again, say it so everybody can get it.
The Science of Fiction Dialectic. That's the technology. That's the method to interface with everything. That's how we actually interface with everything right now. One thing people do not know is that the word dialectic created the word technology. So a dialectic in English is a bunch of people having a conversation talking like we're doing right now. This is a technology. What's the difference between what we're doing here right now and the scientists at CERN? Because they're colliding particles together. So we're doing the same thing. That's the dialectic. That's the technology. It's a kiddie pool.
You're making it easily digestible. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's a kiddie pool. Yeah, it's because it's simple. Lance, I made it so complex. I made it so complex. But from that, it's refining. I'm constantly refining. So the science of fiction dialectic, I also have diagrams and methods to get to the information. And one of them and this is so, okay, I don't like to call myself a psychic, but I predicted the the China virus.
Mhm.
Okay, because it came to my mind toilet paper back in 2016, and I have this. I'll send this in an email. When you
Mhm.
see it, you're not even gonna believe it. And then okay, so a part of my method for people to be able to accept new information, I couldn't find the words in English that were strong enough, so I had to use French. For some reason, I just said, okay, French is going to be the best way for me to get people to understand what they actually have to do in order for new information to come in. And I called it a coup d'état d'armée, a coup d'état d'armée. And we know that a coup d'état is a seizure of a state. So it's kind of, we think in the physical terms of a coup. Guys are going in with guns and, blowing people up and shit's getting burned down and shit like that. But at the same time, if we think about it mentally, so we have a coup d'état, which is a seizure of a state. Okay, coup d'état d'armée is of the mind. So we have a seizure of a state of mind. So we have to stop, and almost in that violent way, to stop thinking how we're thinking in order for us to start a new way of thinking. And then the last part of it, Lance, is called Gab Palestine, like Gab, which is a Hebrew word. I'll explain it. It means a concave shape. So Gab, how can we say Gab? Basically, it's Gab, but it has to do with a concave shape because a concave shape can take on water, like a bowl.
Right.
So, but the concave shape can take on water, and just as fast as the concave shape is created, you use, and the scripture says this, you use the breath to dry that water up, but you can still create the water. So you create the water, so then you can get deep, like you said, you can get deep. So, but once you get that, you coup d'état d'armée, which is a seizure of a state of mind, and it creates the Gab Palestine. And look at what's going on in the world today.
See that?
Yeah, and I predicted that shit around the same time, about 2016.
What do you
I
feel
would have
about?
published a little earlier, but I had some deaths in my family. But yeah,
What,
but I'm
what
over
do you?
that. I'm over that. It's just
I
my
understand.
best friend, blew his head off. My dad
Oh,
died 6 months later, and then my mom died 6 months after that. And then a month before my mom died, my ex-wife's father passed away. So it was like a lot of fucking rocky shit, while I
no,
was publishing the book and doing this work, but here I am.
Well, I just dropped a link in the chat room, and I have the shortened version, which is still going to take you there. Because how sometimes in certain links, you have all of these extra stuff. So I tested it, and I put the bare link there, and I'll show it on the screen. I put up the name of the book, how it's written out, and here is the actual link, which on the screen you can't really get it, but it's in the chat room, and that's what it looks like. And
Thanks, bros.
of course, man, that's what I'm here for. You're taking time to do something that we can all benefit from. So it's my job to keep pushing it. A lot of people come with all kind of ego stuff and foolishness, and you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised if people come and want to push it. And I'm not saying I'm some authority or anything, but you've been here for a while and people trust. And so I'm not going to abuse that trust. You see? So
yeah, I never will, man. That's why I waited like so long and I studied so hard, because I'm like, man, I wasn't born to be a fucking worker. I wasn't born to be an employee, and not like I'm better than anybody. It was never that. It was like,
know what you mean, though.
Military too. I went to the military when I was 17.
Wow.
And because I wanted to help, I wanted to give back. I'm like, shit, I had a good life, and I know a lot of people, their shit was kind of rocky road, whatever.
Right.
But I had both parents, and shit wasn't all, it wasn't all peaches and cream, because both my parents didn't have fathers growing up. So I had two parents raised by single mothers.
Mm-hmm.
But they still managed to, carve out a good existence for me,
Make it work. Exactly.
Yeah. I can't never, my whole life, I never missed a meal, man.
See, that's the same with me, and I'm appreciative of that. That's why I'll go the extra mile for those who may not have had even the physical meal, but other types of meals and voids inside of themselves if I see their spirit is correct. You know, because you have some people, they're not trying to elevate to anything. So if I can help, I'm gonna help. You know, if a person is doing something high vibrational and trying, or even if they're low vibrational but trying to go a little higher, it's nothing for me, for my flame to light their candle, as it has been done for me. So in every way I can, I will give back that way. But you know, you don't have to feel any kind of way bad for saying you're a psychic. And sometimes it works more than other times. There's things that have come to me in my personal life that was beyond what most people can explain. And sometimes you hold things in. What do you feel about the time we're in now? If you have any feelings toward it, maybe it didn't come yet, maybe it did. You know, what do you feel about this world we're living in now and where we're going, basically, how it relates to us?
All right. Well, well, we live in a realm ruled by people who like to associate themselves with the degrees that they have attained. And I don't want to say too much because I don't have any disrespect for them. However, I have found that this world we live in, it's, you know, a lot of the elements of entertainment, the things that are distracting us, because entertainment is another word for distraction. I found that years ago
Right.
when I was incorporating my record label back in 2007,
Right.
which is Monkey Face Entertainment. And you know, you know, as I'm doing the whole thing with the corporation, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going, you know, what's going on here? What am I getting myself involved with? But okay, I got a little bit off.
It's okay.
Okay. So the talking about the people with the degrees, and they're ruling this thing, they're scripting this thing out. And so, oh yeah, Monkey Face Entertainment. So I'm going, you know, to get my trademark. And I'm really thinking about this word entertainment. Like, what does this mean? So I'm still inquisitive back then in 2007 when we barely had YouTube and stuff like that starting, and Google, you know, was like the best search engine back in 2007. And so I started looking up definitions for the word entertainment, and then I found that another definition was distraction.
There you go.
So from the sports to the TV shows, the movies, the Housewives of Atlanta. All this stuff is a distraction, and it's highly scripted and orchestrated.
Oh yeah.
To a point where I found, now my brother Lance, I've heard of gematria. Okay, I've studied the Kabbalah since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I've studied I've studied Dogon cosmology from Timbuktu, Mali. And I started studying the Kabbalah before I even picked up the Bible. Okay, so I've come across this guy's channel. He's talking about gematria, and he's talking about the Lahaina fires, because that, you know, that's still pretty damn significant. You know, this whole thing with Jada, she should go into a freaking hole somewhere and just, you know, you don't deserve no fucking limelight. You don't deserve no damn screen time. You need to be talking about what's going on in Lahaina. You know, I had some choice words because I don't like fucking liars. But anyways,
I know.
So I find this guy, and he's showing like the sports is all scripted. There's bodies, people dropping dead, you know, from suspicious circumstances, you know, all this stuff. But they're all happening on certain dates that are corresponding with other dates in history and other events and things. And it's just blowing my mind. Like, whoa, this is all scripted.
But we don't see
it though. Right. Yeah, because we're steeped in religious dogma. That's why. Lance, I've been studying this thing. I've been listening to people talk, and I said, damn, it's just a pattern. You people are just presenting to me a pattern. Because I also have a background in sound engineering. You know, I had a recording studio, you know, with the record label, and then just recording, at the house and just, record in other studios and whatnot. But, I have jazz ears. My dad always said, David, you got jazz ears. So I'm always just listening to what people say. I have massive amounts of notes. At one point in time in 2014, because I hadn't read the Bible up until that point, I'm literally writing out whole scriptures. I still have my notebook. I'm writing out whole scriptures, trying to get an understanding. And then after a while, I said, well, let me annotate my notes. And when I started annotating my notes, which means to define a word that is not relatively available to you, right? You see a word in the scripture and you're like, oh, that word seems a little queer. So just let me look up the definition. And so I knew to use a concordance by 2014. And so I'm just annotating all these words. And I'm like, whoa, man, this is amazing. This book has stories inside of stories. And it's like, wow, this is like Super Mario World. The Bible is like Super Mario World. And I'm telling you, it is literally hardcore porn. I don't care what nobody says. See, the word fornication comes from the Greek word porneu. So anyone who has ever called anyone a fornicator has had porn in their mouth, period.
Wow. So
even, and like Jesus said, if you can think about it, then you've already sinned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because action follows thought. Do it because you thought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what happened, right? Is a zombie or something? Yeah, man. See, people can't even be held to their own damn document. That's the problem. And especially right now, right? We're looking at Trump saying one thing and then all his supporters are like, yeah, the Muslims are no good. Oh, they're terrorists. And all the propaganda that's been put out since, the last Pearl Harbor event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the way you said that.
Yeah, we already know what it is, man. But it's like I love people and I know they're going to figure it out. But we also have to have somewhere to go with the information, because, it's going to take us a little while and there's going to be some more pain. But it just is what it is, man. In that case, I lean on the Art of War by Sun Tzu. And it says that a general will fail when they have over solicitude for their men, meaning that, oh, this one died, that one died. Oh, he was such a good guy. He could climb the rope so good, right? But he's out of here. He died in battle. But if the general is constantly fretting over the losses, that general will not win.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got a long view with this stuff too. Along with Jesus saying, hey, BS passersby. So, I can access that sometimes. And, I bring in Buddhism. There's 3 states of Buddhism. At the top, you have Brahma. And at the bottom, you have Atman. And Atman does nothing. Because sometimes, we have to say, okay, well, I can't do anything about this. I can't do anything about that. And so Atman is a safe room for me, or has been a safe room for me over time. So I just suggest for people with your religion, hey, keep what you do, but be a mixed martial artist. Learn all the religions, learn them all. And you'll definitely get some wisdom from whatever scripture you look at. It don't matter what it is. Read bits of the Talmud, read bits of the Bhagavad Gita. Read bits of everything. Read the Gospel of Thomas. Read the Gospel of Mary. Because all these things are going to help us. And Brother Lance, I would love to talk to you about the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Mary, because those are 2 books that were taken out of the Bible that when people bring those back into their repertoire, it's going to change the world. the last verse in the Gospel of Thomas, believe it or not, Jesus wants to make females into males so they can enter into the kingdom.
What?
Yeah, yeah. That's the gospel. Anybody can Google search it. That's why it's like, damn, we got the World Wide Web. Ain't nobody hitting up shit. Ain't nobody
Wow.
reading shit. You got you
Go to the same places. Like I
all of
tell all the time, I said, even people to look at their own history of where they go. As vast as the internet is, they only go few places. That's like you going to a whole new city or a whole new country, and you're in the hotel room, and all you do is go down to the lobby and go back to your room. And then when it's over, hop on the plane and go back to the other country. You didn't do anything. You see?
right. Yeah, you didn't see any sites. You didn't read something written in another language, and just see the script. You don't even have to even know what it says. Just have it ingrained into your subconscious. They didn't do anything, and yeah, man, it's See, and that's why people, when they say, "Oh, I've been here, I've been there, I traveled here, this place and that place," but for what? Just to
Right.
say you went there, or
Yeah.
are you trying to be more wholesome?
Right.
About your approach to traveling here and there, or you're just doing it for clout.
Right. Like when I came to Accra, we had a 4-hour layover in Amsterdam. I can't say I went to Amsterdam. I was just in the airport waiting for the next plane. I didn't see no.
Right.
You know what I mean? But people will stretch that. People will do certain things, and they didn't connect with the people. They didn't learn the culture. They didn't explore. They didn't extract anything that they can share with somebody else to give them the heads up. That didn't count.
Yeah. One more thing I want to say about this time that we're in. Because of those people that go by degrees, okay, they're going off prior decrees. One of those was that guy, General Albert Pike. He wrote about, in the Luciferian doctrine, he talked about World War I, World War II, and World War III.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my estimation, the actual World War III that Pike was trying to perfect was that spiritual war inside of an individual. Like, that's actually what the World War III is, so far as what I've read from Albert Pike. Even though there's all these other things going on around, that's the actual goal for the Mason, is to bring the male and female together, basically. The positive and negative within every individual. That's the last war. And I can't say that that's not sound, because we know that these people, even Albert Pike, he quoted the Egyptians. He sounded like a Hebrew Israelite. The way he was talking, the way these Hebrew Israelites are out here right now.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's called Morals and Dogma. The first 3 degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, and he speaks very forcefully, and I appreciate that. He put himself out there, and this is 1871. So now we're in 2023. Because of the George Floyd protests, they pulled down the statue in Washington, D.C. of the only Confederate general to have a statue in Washington, D.C., which was Albert Pike, General Albert Pike.
Yeah.
I won't be disrespectful. And in 2016, I had traveled out to the East Coast doing a tour, looking at this, Washington, D.C., New York, Baltimore, freaking Philly, just looking around, right? And I found General Pike's statue, took a picture in front of it with my boy. All right. And it was right in front of the Capitol Police Department.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it was off to the side. It wasn't directly in front. I don't want to I don't want to misrepresent the location, but
Right.
you pull up to the Washington, D.C. Capitol Police Department, you drive up far enough, you would have seen Albert Pike's statue right there. So, and he's a famous Freemason. So it's like, well, what's really going on? There's a lot going on. And the idea that the women are all haywire because they never learned what Jesus was trying to teach them. Because bring me a woman who knows that Jesus wanted to make her male in order for her to enter into the kingdom.
That's something.
Yeah, this is the last frontier. Oh yeah, Lance, this is it. This is it, because all women have to do is be exposed to the literature. It's pre-existing me, and just be exposed to the literature, read the Gospel of Mary, and understand how the apostles were still like, what do you mean, Jesus? What do you mean you're leaving us with a woman to teach us? You're leaving us with a woman? You taught her, Mary, the woman, you taught her things that you didn't teach the rest of us, and now we got to go to her to get the rest of our lessons? Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, brother, what I'm going to do, I got to get up soon. It's 5:06, and I don't want to let this conversation go. But what I want to do, it's your earliest convenience. You let me know when you're ready. I do have a bunch of shows scrambled around, but we'll pick a time or day where we can go in and we'll set it up and we'll talk about how we'll promote it. And I'll do the whole thing. Certain keywords that would trigger others off to say, hey, I got to check this out, and
yeah,
we'll take a couple hours and have you go in and teach and share your research and also to promote your book, which I've been dropping a link inside the chat room. So
absolutely, brother. And I've been all around YouTube. I've been all around in this one chat room, that one's chat room. So a lot of people know me on YouTube. I'm not cloud chasing or nothing. I put the work in.
I know. It's not cloud chasing.
Sat there, listen to for 4 hours. This one talking about blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
like, oh, shit.
I see that.
I got to go through it. Because somebody has to.
There are people out here who haven't done a lick of research, but they have the biggest mouth, want to argue down on something. So me, that's like I said, when a person does the research, it's a plus to me because I get to learn, as opposed to being one of these little, what they call them, hoteppers. They look at a couple of memes on Instagram and all of a sudden they know everything and they want to come argue with you who have spent countless hours to come out and put out a work. So, oh yeah. So I know my place, brother. So we're going to promote something, but I'm not just going to cut it there. I want you to give a minute or two and bring it to where you want to bring it. If there's anything you want to say that's really important in your heart, say it now and we'll wrap it down and we'll communicate when you're ready. You have all my contact information down below the description area, and then we put out something really dynamic. I will hook it up to the point where all you got to do is come on in and just share what you know, and then we'll let it roll. And we'll take time with it. It won't be no rush thing. The only reason why I'm hitting now is because I'm in West Africa, so I'm 4 hours ahead of the East Coast, and I do have to get up to do something a little early. I'm going to get some sleep, but I want to get all of it. So, and I don't want to cut this either, because when it's something flowing, I don't want to stop it. But go ahead, man, and continue on for a couple minutes, and then we'll sign it off.
Yeah, word, man. Shoot, no, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. I think the timing is just right.
Likewise.
We are heading into uncertain times. There's countermeasures we can take. I suggest people read the book Animal Farm. If you don't want to necessarily sit down and read the book, the audio book is on YouTube. Read Animal Farm, and that was published in 1945. And then the next book is 1984, which was published in 1948. These are two books written by George Orwell, who I believe laid down a blueprint for the things going on today. We just have to be able to speak about these things with the same language. And that's how we can attain unity consciousness, because that's the one thing we lack, Brother Lance. We lack a unity consciousness. Even if our unity consciousness could be based off of the freaking Smurfs, man, to get an understanding of what's going on in the world. Because I've also created an analogy with the Smurfs. You know, because how many people know that when Smurfette was first created by Gargamel, her hair, she was a brunette. Her hair was black. How many people know that? So it's just the fine details of the things that we are already familiar with. We just got to refine them.
Right.
You know, and so yeah, I just, Animal Farm is a book I've read a few times recently. I say I read a book because I listened to the audiobook, you know, 5 times. And
Wow.
that's a reading. That's a reading. Because you're listening to it. It's the same thing as reading. And people should approach the scriptures the same way. If you don't want to sit and read the book, have the book in front of you, turn on the audiobook and listen to the audiobook as you go through the book. And it'll go so much faster and you can eat so much more in a shorter amount of time. That's all, Brother Lance. And I believe, you know, just Friday, so I can get myself prepared. That would be the earliest. And I'll definitely back out of the StreamYard right now so I can get that information about the chat room. Because I'm on my
Sure. I know I have a show Friday with Dr. Day, but other than that, I'm free. So whatever works for you, I'm flexible. Just let me know a day or two ahead of time. But we're going to communicate and we'll set up something real nice. And you could take your time and get it all out there and we create a masterpiece. That's what it's all about. I love these. I love these types. You know, I don't know half of what you know, not even 25%. But to have that on record, to keep playing it over and over, it's better than a book. You did your book, but to have a living, breathing person speak to what they know. And in the future, a person can get the book and go between both of them. That's complete. And that's how you're supposed to use YouTube. Like I said, sometimes we get on with a little comedy, but we're going to bring it around to something else, you know, because that's the way it is. We got to reach everybody. And hopefully we can catch somebody who is kind of riding the fence between ignorance and a desire for knowledge. And we can blow them over to the other side of knowledge. You come in. So
hey, but we got to be careful, man, because they might be a Humpty Dumpty. Hey, bro, with my knowledge, I'm going to say this last thing. I'm going to let you go. Okay. This is dope, though. This is dope. Watch. Okay, check it out. Okay. Who let Humpty Dumpty sit on the wall when he had a pre-existing condition? Now, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Now, like I told you, I didn't grow up celebrating Easter, but I did have a couple Easter egg hunts with some of my friends. I grew up Muslim, so we didn't do that, but I did have some friends. My parents weren't all stuck up like that. Okay. So I remember, you know, picking up a few Easter eggs, and I'm like, oh, they just cracked the side of that thing on the side. Why were they able to crack those eggs and then put the little gifts in them and then patch them over? Because they were not boiled. So Humpty Dumpty was a hard-boiled egg. That's why all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again, because he was a shattered egg. And the egg only shatter if it's hard-boiled.
Right. See that?
Yeah. He had a pre-existing condition, you know, like.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay, brother.
Oh, it's a pleasure, brother. I'm so glad you came in. And I know everybody who is listening now appreciates you. And those who hear you in the future, they might tune in and say, let me see this foolishness he's talking about with Jada and Will, and listen to it gradually turn into something else. And that's what I like, you know, that we can flow that way. So I'm looking forward to it, brother. We're going to do something nice. You're going to be able to teach, reach some people, and let's reach the people who may be in denial of what you have to say, so you can have an intelligent dialogue with them. And I'm just grateful. I can go to bed happy knowing that I did a second show and that it came out good because of the presence of you and Brother Joe and everybody else who's here. I thank you so much. I'm looking forward to you to reach out to me. And whenever that is, this weekend, whenever, I'm down. So we're going to set it up. Thank you so much for your work and your research and being able to explain things the way you do, because we have some pastors out here, and it's not just about the black church or Christianity, because you have to be broader than that, but you can teach them. There's a lot of them that you can teach that are stuck in that one little niche and don't know what the heck they're saying. I'll just say it that way. So
it's true, man. It's true. It's like a baby with a hand grenade in their hand.
exactly.
What are you doing?
Exactly. Don't know what the heck they talk about. They just grab the mic somewhere. I'm not knocking the South. I'm just saying deep in the South. In the Lord said, come on, man. Teach us.
Yeah.
Teach us.
Yeah.
We crave so much more than just the emotionalism and the aerobics on a Sunday morning. It's got to be more than that.
Mm. The country club Christian pep talks. Like what is it? Like personal growth. I mean, that's how church is, like personal growth. Like spin you around on the merry-go-round and you come back with a long face. You come back with a long face. And pastor made me happy. And then you go around, spin around the thing again, come back to the wrong day even. All right, my brother.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. Just enough to last for the next 6 days to be hungry that Sunday morning to come back. Right?
Oh yeah, man. It's like I gotta go back to church because I'm gonna go to hell if I don't.
Right.
When you're the church, you're the temple.
Right.
Martin Luther. I mean, we're coming up on the anniversary, 31 October, the year 1517. Martin Luther nails the 95 Theses on the door of St. Petersburg Basilica. Pop, pop, pop. 95 Theses. He questioned the entire church and he said, wait a minute, I can go straight to God in a prayer and meditation. I don't need to pay penance to you.
Right.
Okay. And we're coming up on that anniversary. So this is a good time. Martin Luther, 1517, October 31st. That's the reason for the season, folks.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, my brother. I'm gonna get in that chat before it closes down. I appreciate you having me up here, man. I'll talk to you soon, my brother.
Oh yes.
Okay. And igualmente, I speak in Spanish when I really mean it. I mean some of the same mind about your contributions, your work, and your offerings, even though mine is just right now. And for everything that you do, I appreciate you. Okay. I'll talk to you soon, my brother.
Yes, brother. I'll be here. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Shalom. Shalom,
right.
shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Yeah.